Hydrofield cuts through my neighborhood.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fearlessly Authentic. I'm Lucky.
What up, people?
And Steve.
¿Cómo está, mi amigos?
I was just sharing it out there.
Yeah, me too. Please do the same, everybody. Share this bitch out there. Put it out in the world, out under your social mediums, your social larges, social smalls, all of them.
That's so weird. Thing didn't send. Okay.
Mr. Whistles from the land of Oz. I was watching a thing earlier. It was really cool about the land of Oz and these certain kind of pine trees that aren't really pine trees, but they're really, 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 really strong, and they don't rot, and they love water, and they grow right out of the fucking creek and stuff. It's not cypress, but it's like some kind of ancient conifer, and they live for 1,000 years and more, like a couple thousand years. They don't get like super, super tall, but they're just like incredibly resistant to breaking down, and they don't rot. They can be under the ground for fucking 1,000 years and still not be rotten. It's crazy. So they build stuff. They make veneers and stuff out of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty groovy. I wish I could remember the name of the tree it was. It was a something pine.
Okay.
And I was assured that it was not, in fact, a pine. Just when all the explorers came, they named everything pine, because that's all they had to relate to. Back home, the botanists call everything pine. Oh, that's a kind of pine. That's a celery pine. That's an artichoke pine.
Interesting.
Yeah. Botany is a fascinating subject. I don't know.
It is.
There's so many names. Too many names to remember. I can't remember them. But I remember sort of sometimes what the leaves look like. I think that's more important.
All right. So we have some interesting topics tonight. We have the United States of Ukraine. We have that. We also have some, who's funding the LGBTQ like drag shows, and that's happening, and there's some interesting twists into that. And then I have an update on some of the MAID information in Canada that we've been talking about. Found some more information out about it, and there's a little bit of an update of what I've found that is going on. So I guess we'll start out with the Ukraine stuff, right?
Sure.
Okay. So they've just given Zelensky a ton of money. What is he gonna do with it? What do you think he's gonna do with it?
Well, he's gonna call up E.F. Hutton, right? And he's gonna take it down to where the bull is or whatever, and
he's gonna work with the Blackrock CEO now.
Sure.
Now,
exactly. You need somebody you can trust when it comes to financial advice, and I can't think of anyone, more talented and equipped than someone from Blackrock.
I mean, why wouldn't you want Blackrock, that's an investment firm, to help you out? They know what to do, I guess. They've helped destroy the United States. So they'll help him figure out how to rebuild. So this is from December 28th of this year.
She didn't miss much, Kate. She's like, oh, good, I didn't miss much except for the last 3 months.
Well,
there's a bunch of stuff.
I've covered Canada a few times. I think I've done 3 big shows on Canada on what's happening up there with MAID. 3 big ones.
True.
on that. It's pretty crazy. And then I have an update tonight on that. Okay, so the BlackRock Financial Markets Advisory and the Ukrainian Ministry of Economy signed a memorandum of understanding in November. So Zelensky and Fink, who is the CEO of BlackRock, agreed Wednesday to focus on a nearer term on coordinating the efforts of all potential investors and participants in the reconstruction of our economy, channeling investment into the most relevant and impactful sectors in the Ukrainian economy.
Super.
So,
super duper.
This is why we're calling this United States of Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've adopted them somehow. And, you know, some people are claiming they're like, well, I'm going to claim the Ukraine on my taxes this year.
See, Ukraine's like a sad stepchild that you get in the divorce. You know, wasn't really part of your wife's family or whatever, but you know what I mean? They're close enough that you have to adopt them.
No.
No? I don't know exactly how politics work, so I'm just speculating at this point.
No.
Okay.
So Ukrainian President Zelensky and BlackRock, Larry Flink, agreed to coordinate investment in rebuilding Ukraine, and Kiev announced Wednesday following a meeting between the two men. So how do you think this goes? Okay, so I got more money from Daddy Biden. I got the money. How are we going to spend it? So they agreed to focus on the near term, coordinating the efforts and potential investors and participants in the reconstruction of our country, channeling investment into the most relevant and impactful sectors of the Ukrainian economy. BlackRock Financial Markets Advisory and the Ukrainian Ministry of Economy signed a memorandum of understanding in November after Flynn and Zelensky met in September. So this has been going on for a little while.
They've been working on it.
This didn't just like pop up and all at the same time. Like, does that not seem odd that BlackRock is doing this? That the money is coming from the United States and we're just funneling it to Ukraine.
You will own nothing.
And then
you will eat bugs.
A U.S. investment company is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
weird
right?
about that.
Just keeping it in the family.
Yeah,
except
like
we're not.
I try to
it's not the United States of Ukraine though.
Well, not yet. They did have the Ukrainian flag and SS symbols on them in the Congress of the United States. I mean, I'm not sure if that signifies anything, really.
I don't know, but
last year they had a guy with buffalo horns in the Congress.
I know. Like,
so I'm not sure what the rules are anymore. I think they've changed significantly.
Yeah, right. Applejack, we gotta keep it in the family.
Yeah, man, you gotta.
But they're not part of the family though.
Solidarity or something.
What is this playing for? Why is it doing that? Okay.
Wow.
So, so they've been getting together for a little bit. Like, it's been Russia's highly destructive invasion this is how they phrase this. This is their spin,
To be clear, that was not my impression of Jenna Colby telling you would eat bugs. Okay, just so because there may be some confusion. She's like,
what?
I was not telling anyone to eat bugs. Now, there's nothing wrong with bugs, eating bugs. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked there for a second.
Yeah. So BlackRock is one of the world's largest investment managers, has been providing advisory support for designing an investment framework with the goal of creating opportunities for both public and private investors to participate in future reconstruction and recovery of the Ukrainian economy. The company said in a statement last month, BlackRock has no further statement at this stage. So they just gave him another $45 billion. And they're like, yeah, well, we'll have BlackRock help them. You know, like this is what we'll do. We still have our little freaking our claws in it, right?
It's true. Expansion is wonderful, isn't it? You know, you can just get a whole country like United States of Ukraine, baby.
And here I have another article about this.
I feel like if it really was like like another state, that the entire country of Ukraine, bless you, the entire country of Ukraine would be like, would have like a Florida kind of vibe to it, you know.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. That's fine.
Oh my God.
Like if everybody all, you know, they all had kind of an accent, and never mind. It's
okay. So Zelensky teams up with BlackRock CEO Larry Flink, just like I said in the other article. This one is also from December 28th. So these are all just very recently. And what did I put this one in here. Let me see. What reason did I put it in here? Oh, yes. Yes. Because according to Zelensky's official website, BlackRock, one of the largest investment firms in the world, managing 10 trillion in assets, has been working for several months on a project to advise the Ukrainian government on how to structure the country's reconstruction funds. So they're like, we're going to tell you what to do. And just put your head around that for a minute. 10 trillion in assets.
10 trillion.
10 trillion in assets.
That seems like a lot. I'm no mathematician. That seems like a substantial amount.
I mean, it's a collective of people that just, you know, are like, yeah, fine, we'll put our money towards that. So they have this mutual collective that they do, and they just exclude the rest of us.
Yeah, it's hold on a second. Kate says, wait a second. Wasn't Larry Flint the owner of Hustler magazine? Now this all makes sense. This association helps one understand the number. That's true.
It's crazy though, right? Like, it's like, wait a minute. Why are these guys really? They're already fucking us over. They're buying up all the freaking houses. BlackRock and Vanguard. You're hearing about these big investment companies are all buying up the property.
Yeah. They're working together.
They are working together. Literally. And they have their own mutual aid agenda of helping each other, but it's not, they are excluding the rest of us.
It's billionaire mutual aid.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we can make your billions into trillions. We'll make your trillions into fucking quadrillions. And then everybody will die and it'll be wonderful because there'll be so many less people and we can finally build that spaceship. I don't know what they really think, if that's actually the thing, but that's what I like to imagine. They're all just obsessed with getting off the planet, and you know, they know eventually their luck is going to run out and they might have a better shot in space, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, let's get back to this. So Zelensky and Larry Flink agreed to focus in the near term, coordinating the efforts of all political investors, participants in reconstruction of our country. Yes. So, you know.
Yeah, they are. They're private companies, and this is the free market. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, and as former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon pointed out, like, I'm agreeing with Steve Bannon, what the fuck, pointed out that billions of dollars in Ukraine will be managing with BlackRock, originally came from U.S. taxpayers. This is your money. Please repeat your money. Break up the oligarchs. He posted on Wednesday on Getter, and that is a quote. That is not me saying that.
Quote. That was a Steve Bannon quote?
Yeah.
Whoa, man.
This is your money. Please repeat your money. Break up the oligarchs. He posted on Wednesday on
Steve
Get It.
Bannon is an oligarch. Hello.
I know.
The irony.
When the oligarchs are fighting the oligarchs.
That's what we could do is just turn them all against each other.
Yeah, it's, you know, yeah, there we go.
Little, you beautiful little bean.
So yeah, Steve Bannon, we're agreeing with Steve Bannon.
Gross, stop saying that.
Well, I mean, he's saying break up the oligarchs.
Yes, but he is an oligarch, so it doesn't mean anything.
But it does, the words do have meaning, and I do agree with him on like breaking up, you know, like, okay, sure. Whatever. I don't agree with you on much, but I agree with you on that one thing that I can say.
I agree with Jenna. We should just move to Mexico. What? Sorry.
So the World Bank, the European Commission, and the Ukrainian government compiled a report earlier this year claiming the total cost for rebuilding Ukraine in the wake of its conflict with Russia could top $349 billion.
That doesn't even touch the tens of trillions you're just talking about. It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, that is a drop in the bucket compared to what Vanguard. I mean, not Vanguard. Blackrock. Excuse me. Blackrock has 10 trillion. So that figure considers the damage up until June 1st, which means that damage that occurred after that date is not included in the massive estimation. So they're like, yeah, just keep doing the war as long as you give us the money. That's all we care about.
Well, yeah. Signs the papers.
This comes days after Zelensky visited the White House and addressed Congress to complain that nearly $100 billion in taxpayer funds to assist in the Ukraine conflict was not enough. Like, yeah, okay. It's just shocking when you hear somebody say that the near $100 billion for someone else's country is not enough.
It's shocking.
It is shocking. Like, are you kidding me? How many people are sleeping out on the streets right now? How many people froze?
Yeah. How many people are dying in Ukraine?
How many people here don't have health care? How many people are starving to death?
How many Russian kids and Ukrainian kids are dying?
Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
Also, that they can try to own Russia, like they can just like not own them, like physically own them, but like, you know, get them.
Yeah, and also physically
and get
own
at them. Yeah, they want to take down like Russia. It's like, just can we just leave these other countries alone?
We got a lot of money invested in it.
And he's saying it's not enough.
It's not enough. 100 billion. Come on.
This also comes after Zelensky announces his government would be participating in the World Economic Forum, Davos meeting in January, where the world's elite gather to discuss how to implement their globalist initiatives, like the Great Reset. We've covered this several times on the show, and you know, notably, here we go. Blackrock is also leading the charge in the WEF Environmental Social Governance Framework, a woke metric that is billed as sustainable investing, which several states like Texas have rejected. What the fuck? We're talking WEF, Zelensky, Blackrock, all of it.
Yeah, well, that just shows the framework. Like, of course, they're all working together, and of course, we're giving all our money to it, because that's where, you know, the people who control who gets elected in this country are the ones driving. So hold on to your ass, because it's just going to get fucking more fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy, and what's crazy to me is that there's the WEF is always connected. Like, you can always find the connection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's You know, if you have all the unlimited budget and the ears of every single fucking country on the planet for 60 fucking plus years, what do you think you could accomplish with that?
Yeah. Like people are just now coming to terms to understand more about the WEF, but there's a lot of people that have been ahead of this. Like Whitney Webb she has been at the front lines of the WEF this entire time.
Right. Well, that's how they work. Literally, is they, you know, that diversity. You know, they can hide fucking horrible things in vast numbers of investors, and that's why hedge funds and things are fucking generally pretty slimy, because that's how they work. Separate. Oh well, we're not part of that. We only own 7% of that company. You know, that's a pittance. Oh, it's a pittance. You fucking $10 trillion worth. 7% of 10 trillion is what? Get the fuck out of here. They're all slime balls. And the WEF is the most organized thing to come out on planet Earth in a really, really long time, and most organized and
no Applejack
and implementable set of fucking plans and agendas, man. Like they're just working it. They're just fucking like marionettes playing the fucking system. Social credit scores are on the way. Transhumanism will be ushered in before 2050. I'll give you that. I know it will be. It's just all happening. All the fucking little cogs that need to click into place are doing just that. And everybody's asleep. Nobody wants fucking revolution. Everybody's still screaming, vote third party. Vote, vote, vote. Like, no, dude, it's well past any of that fucking time. It's well past it.
Vote for what? For somebody that's not going to represent us?
Right.
Why do we need to participate in a system where people aren't going to, like, there's no representatives? That's like believing that there's some kind of representative that's going to somehow magically represent you or have any ability to.
There is no savior coming.
Not worth the effort.
There is
it's
no
not
savior.
Worth the time.
Yes. I agree.
It's not worth talking about them. Like
we need to like literally stop using existing systems and implement new, better systems that serve everyone.
But we have to get people to actually like come to terms with that idea.
Well, yeah, no, so many people need to even just be aware of how corrupted and how you know unrepresented everyone is, and I think they're starting to see it more and more. But it needs to be like this big swell before the other nefarious fucking playmakers get their shit done, because it's just coming and nobody's fucking stopping it. Nobody's opposing it in any fucking real way. And I don't know what else you're supposed to do about that. They lock up the best fucking chance in hell anyone had, and they keep him in fucking prison. So you can't fucking speak. They got a muzzle on everybody now.
So after that meeting, so this is on 6/13/2022 is when this is from. But Warren Buffett's kids are donating millions of dollars from his foundation in support of Ukraine.
Free Assange.
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck Ukraine.
Yeah. So they can get people buses to get out of there. And get them trauma kits. Don't you think like starting peace talks would maybe be a better, No, it's only money.
It's only fucking dead kids and money. That's all war is, right? Like nobody cares about the fucking trauma of it all and the fucking bad fucking mojo. And they just keep feeding it. Just to fucking keep feeding it to make it be more so they can get more out of it. And that's what it always is. It's just that like feudal capitalism thing where they just they can't take anything less than all. It doesn't add up on the fucking flow chart.
So it's just it's getting dumped from all over the place. It's not just, it's not just a few places. And so I wanted to show a little bit of like who BlackRock was. Because not everybody knows who this company, this investment, company is.
No, most people don't even know. Most people, there's multiple companies within companies. That's why, they just hide it, obfuscate the obvious evil and put a shiny face on it. They work for weapons manufacturers for years,
So BlackRock Inc. is the biggest company you've probably never heard of. BlackRock was formed by founder and CEO Larry Fink in 1988 in New York City as a risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Now it's the world's largest asset manager with 10 trillion currently in its portfolio. That number is absolutely astonishing to me.
Well, Applejack said that BlackRock are friends to the people and they want to help homelessness.
No, they don't. Okay. So according to MarketWatch, I can't no, both of you guys? No, I can't do it. According to MarketWatch, there's currently around 40 trillion in circulation around the world, which means BlackRock manages a quarter of the world's money. Now, are you hearing this? A quarter of the world's money. And then that's who's going to go now into Ukraine and use the, the U.S. Depending on whether you look at it from an MMT perspective or not, it doesn't matter. Ukraine has that much money and it came from here, right? Because I'm not going to get into the financial debate about the MMT.
Yeah, no, I think, they will make short work of whatever fucking billions.
So yeah, like forget Tesla and Amazon and their, the eccentric space fearing CEOs. BlackRock is comparatively reclusive CEO or the biggest players in the global financial stage. How did BlackRock become the largest asset manager in the world? And what does it mean for the current and future world economy? Immediate monolith. This is serious. Like BlackRock and Vanguard are the two of the. Oh my God! I feel like I got to sneeze again.
Oh my God! You should just say, "Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze again." Commit to it.
It's always a 3. See, I only sneezed twice earlier. So BlackRock and Vanguard are two of the biggest 3 passive fund asset management firms. The third State Street is owned by BlackRock. Okay. The largest shareholder is Vanguard. It seems to all roads lead to BlackRock. Vanguard is the largest shareholder of BlackRock. Mm-hmm. So like they're invested in investment companies.
They're invested in investment companies and media companies. They control narrative.
So that's what.
Yes.
Vanguard itself, on the other hand, has a unique structure that makes its ownership more difficult to discern. But maybe the oldest, richest families in the world can be linked to Vanguard funds. So, Vanguard and BlackRock are the top 2 owners of Time Warner, Comcast, Disney, and News Corp. 4 of the 6 media companies that control over 90% of the U.S. media landscape. Now, let's like rewind really quickly. Now, how much was that? So they have a quarter of the circulated money, and they own 90% of the media landscape. Well, it says more than 90%.
Yeah, that's what do you call that?
That is a monopoly, a monolith. Like this is like we're in serious trouble.
This is they run the show. They'll tell you what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the fucking boop-a-doop boop. They told everybody what's going on.
Okay, so together, BlackRock and Vanguard own 18% of Fox. That's a large percentage when you talk about big companies like this. 16% of CBS, 13% of Comcast, which owns NBC, MSNBC, which is also Microsoft, CNBC, and Sky Media Group. 12% of CNN and 12% of Disney, who owns a number of subsidiaries. So, like, this is alarming. This is like it is like this is bigger than Amazon, because I don't hear people talk about BlackRock very often, and that's why I felt like it was important to cover this. Media behemoths that may present themselves as rivals are in reality owned by the same company. The editorial authority of BlackRock in the companies in has stake is debatable, but the point is it can direct narratives globally and influence geopolitics in the grandest of scales. These guys have a lot of control in.
Oh geez, really?
So, and they have their what? They have their it's like an octopus. They have their freaking tentacles on everything.
I was going to push back a little and be like, no, it's just the free market. It's just how it is. It's not a monopoly. I mean, come on. Bro.
Yeah, this is the free market working itself. Right?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that what this is? An investment company? Like, this is a free market.
Sure, it is. Of course,
I mean, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just breaking this
know.
down as far as I see it and why I see it this way.
Charles Schwab and Carl Schwab, all of them guys. I don't know.
So it says BlackRock's magic genie. Well, BlackRock and Vanguard shaped the media landscape of the world. BlackRock's secret weapon, an advanced training algorithm called Aladdin, has been shaping global markets for decades. So when we're talking about how, we are controlled by corporations, and the corporations are merged with our government. What is that called?
It's starts with a F. Shit.
I hear it thrown around a lot.
People say it sometimes.
Yeah, I think they're talking about fascism.
Yeah, well, don't be all literal. Jeez, that's a little on the nose, don't you think? It's just a free market. Free. That's what it is. Starts with an F.
Yeah. The extensive technology program, which some estimates operate more than 21.6 trillion in assets, was created by Fink and several colleagues in 1988. Aladdin is an acronym for the asset, liability, debt, and derivative investment network, a program that executes the average of 250,000 trades per day. Aladdin executes trades in asset class across every industry and directs the actions of the Federal Reserve and almost every major U.S. bank. It controls over half of ETFs, 17% of the bond market, and 10% of the stock market.
Mm-hmm. And as Little pointed out, if you look at Blackstone, they're also like another major player, just like these guys. Like,
oh yeah, there is a bunch of them.
Competitors. There are like competitors.
But they all have money within each other's investment. It's
crazy, and they have like crazy amounts of money like that they're in control of. Like just these guys that you're talking about have access to $10 trillion, or that's just
a quarter of the money, like around floating, like
yeah. So there's only like a couple of those companies that, because all the money is spoken for. That's crazy.
I mean, they have more money than governments.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to this, it collects data points on every market, every company, every asset, and uses machine learning to calculate which trades to make in less time than it makes for your brain to set an electrical signal through the nervous system to your fingers. In that quickly this algorithm is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The network makes up Aladdin is approximately 5,000 supercomputers and now acts as a central nervous system for the world's most sophisticated investors and asset managers. Imagine if that, not giving any ideas, like imagine if something happened to that, like where that
I'm
is.
sure they have to maintain that at all costs. That's how, like, when people are doing, day trading and stuff, that's how it occurs, just like through those fucking machines.
I know, but can you imagine if something happened where the machine is? And I don't know where it's located, and I'm not trying to tell anybody to do anything. But can you imagine if something did happen, like what if the earth just like opened up and like that was just like gone, like a natural disaster? Can you imagine though if that whole system just went down?
Yeah, that would be rad.
Every major bank and fund has come to rely on Aladdin and its powerful AI to beat the market, which raises several fundamental questions about the nature of our fragile financial system. Yeah, exactly. If Aladdin's network were to be hacked, it could be a swift and catastrophic impact on the global economy. Yeah. The more existential problem is the monopoly this algorithm has created. BlackRock essentially rents out its proprietary golden goose, the world's highest bidders. So they're manipulating everybody and everything. You want to know who's playing God?
Yeah.
Look no further than BlackRock.
BlackRock, Blackstone. Keep looking, because
Vanguard.
Blackstone is the military one. Like Little's talking about it in the chat. There's different layers of it. Like they're the ones that serve the military and own they own the bullets and sell them to their buddies.
Yeah, and so these guys though are going to be in Ukraine helping to rebuild after their buddies are getting all of their, Blackstone is getting what they need.
The fucking Flintstones were behind it all.
Mostly large hedge funds and mega banks. The paradigm leaves smaller investors as major disadvantages and gives companies like BlackRock and Vanguard license to steer the economy as they see fit. So as soon as BlackRock appears as one of your shareholders, your company stands out from the crowd. It gains a huge amount of prestige. Mm-hmm. They think you are Larry Fink and you can talk as equals with the director of the IMF or head of the state.
You little Fink.
Mr. Fink has already been received twice.
My grandfather used to call us kids little Finks.
Oh my God.
He did.
Oh, Macron.
Oh,
Macron.
Macron.
He's already been
he would say, "You little Finks, get out of here."
So, I mean, I think this is alarming.
Ding, ding, ding.
They have their hands on everything. The global financial crisis hit. Aladdin was called upon in every major bank, as well as the head of the Federal Reserve and U.S. Treasury. Well, how come there's not an algorithm like this that is to solve the world's issues?
Yes. I think Applejack is reading from the QAnon handbook or something.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure exactly what it is. He seems to be covering all the right side of the conversation. He thinks, because listen, he says, Ukraine is fighting for their freedom from this illegal war Putler has started without provocation.
Okay. I gotta get through this article.
Okay.
So the U.S. government called on Aladdin to figure out which assets to keep and what to let go of and Bear Stearns costs. A New York global investment bank, securities trading and brokerage firm that failed in 2008. That was subsequently sold to J.P. Morgan Chase. The U.S. government is calling on this AI, this company, to use their AI to do this. The success Aladdin had in almost single-handedly stopping the world from experiencing almost single-handedly stopping the world from experiencing a complete financial collapse earns its prestigious place among the world's governing bodies. It was given free reign to decide. So it's an AI. It was given free reign to decide what to do with $2 trillion that was printed in the wake of the Great Recession. The majority of it was allocated to bonds and funding to prop up the mortgage companies and banks, assets in which Blackrock was already heavily invested. So why would they have their AI decide to help them more?
Oh, well, it would just worked out that way. That's all. Just worked out.
I mean, really?
I mean, it did almost single-handedly save the universe.
It almost
Sort of.
It almost helped. It's that they said
my uncle lost his house and everything, but he almost didn't.
But thanks, Aladdin.
Thanks, Aladdin.
AI. In 2017, Flink launched a new project at Blackrock called Monarch, which replaced many of the firm's fund managers with algorithms. See, so like, don't worry. You won't have to have fund managers. You're going to have an algorithm now. Now, over 70% of U.S. stock market trades are executed by robots, according to Investopedia. The influence of Blackrock and its powerful algorithm cannot be overstated. As of 2021, at least 3 executives from Blackrock operate notable positions in President Joe Biden's cabinet. Biden appointed Blackrock executives. Brian Odysee, head of the National Economic Council, and these other guys, one to the top of the Treasury. Will AI programs become more sophisticated, possibly to the point of becoming sentient? Aladdin has been quietly shaping the world's economy, making the largest asset managers even bigger and bailing out entire governments. The era of AI isn't coming. It's been here for decades, and now it is so integrated into our financial systems, the world could collapse without it.
Well, that's pleasant.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link for this into the chat if you guys would like it. Now I can put it in the YouTube chat, and we can put it in the show notes after. If anyone else is, you want to look into that further. That was just like completely alarming to me. I was like, what is happening here? This is not okay. I'll kind of put it up here and hit the screen too, in case somebody wants to grab it. A screenshot.
They are dictators, Jilly.
It's insane to me.
Cocks.
This is so that's what's going on with Blackrock. And I'm going to show you who Larry Fink is.
Yeah, that's super fucking sketch, man. Little says, soon AI with a robot body and firearm will be allowed to fucking shoot you in San Francisco. I won't be visiting the Bay Area anymore, he said.
Wow. And here's Larry Fink. This is what an evil motherfucker looks like.
Lawrence, you little dictating fucking puke. Yeah.
And this is from the Blackrock's website. I just wanted to give a face to the fucking Blackrock motherfucker that is doing that.
Yeah, so that's super sketch that, that dude of all people is the one in fucking Ukraine playing with their fucking money. nothing nefarious there, and they're planning a trip to Davos, So yeah, no, it's fine. It's just fine.
They're just going to Davos. They're just
gonna
be
party, They're look at
they're
dude, man.
just gonna be at the WEF.
He just wants to go get a nice call girl and chill, with his boy. Maybe
Oh
do
my
some
God.
rails. What happens in Kiev stays in Kiev, baby. But they're going to Davos, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same rules there. I'm pretty sure. Ask Klaus.
And, just so that you guys know, of course, they are connected to the other.
Yeah, is there any update on Mr. fucking suck my Ferrari?
So the World Economic, yeah, we're gonna get into
All right.
after we're doing this segment. This is like, just to let you know, of course, Blackrock is part of the World Economic Forum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, don't be don't be surprised. Is this the right one here? I don't know if this is the one I needed. No, not that one. So why would we be calling it, the United States of Ukraine? I have one more thing, and then I'm going to show you guys why we would be calling it that. So Zelensky did a end of the year address to his people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and I don't need to probably play him because
he's like, we rocked it this year, you guys.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, he's all about it.
Top of the world, baby. Going to Davos.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. Is it this one? Yes. Is it showing up? All right. There we go. And I don't need to play that because it's not in English. There are subtitles on the bottom, so I can play it without sound. So Ukraine became one of the global leaders. He's very proud now. He's addressing, his country.
Yeah.
Our national colors are the national symbol of courage and invincibility of the whole world.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
In any country, on any continent, when they see blue and yellow, they know that it is about freedom.
They knew.
So he thinks that he has just, he is on top of the world right now.
He hit a touchdown.
That's what he thinks.
He shot a home run. Something.
It's crazy to me because he's an actor who sold out his entire country, and he's getting rewarded for it. And to top it off, this is what's happening right now. This is from a Ukrainian government official. Steve?
I can't see it.
I'm showing him the beautiful flag.
Oh God, it's glorious, isn't it? Don't adjust your TV set. That's not your color on your Sylvania or your
Whatever brand. Yeah, this is, I mean, like, is this what's happening?
That's what's happening, among other things. See, and that's what I mean.
I love the blue and yellow because, you know, I'm Swedish and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the Scandinavian colors.
Oh, that's so nice.
But no.
Flags don't matter anymore, apparently. They got a note or something to do that. I thought that was like sacrilegious or something, or anti-nationalist, or some kind of domestic terrorism, or, well, I guess it would be actual terrorism because it would be, I don't know. Sergey, what the fuck you saying, man? I mean, you got your own flag, bro. They're like, no.
Oh, no, I didn't.
We are United States of Ukraine.
Let me grab that, Applejack.
Oh, da da da. I like the idea that somebody in the official Ukraine government thought that was a good idea. Thought that was like that really, picture says 1,000 words, right? It's just, that's a fucking, what a beautiful, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I think since they brought some kind of weird Nazi memorabilia into the Congress, which isn't anything strange, really. I'm sure that's happened lots of times. With Zelensky, so maybe that's just the thing. It's just to normalize the idea, And I have a theory on that. Like, the entire Ukrainian country would become kind of like, be like Florida, right? You know what I mean? And Russia would be like Cuba, because it'd be right next to it, and communist, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the borders work anymore. We don't need borders, do we? We don't need no stinking borders, yo.
So Applejack reminded me, before we close up this part of the segment, that I should add this. So Applejack figured this out and called her out for lying. She took this little boy's face. How do you say?
How do you say what?
I don't know how to say her last name.
Vasilenko.
So she said there was a massive attack on Ukraine now. Explosions heard in central Kiev. The worst is not knowing what it is and where, and not being able to look out the window. And then, so she used this picture of this little boy. It's actually from a book. And Applejack found it, screenshotted it, and called her out on it. And she's trying to use this, and it's ridiculous. These people are ridiculous. Propagandists.
Wow. Well, they learned from the best.
Yeah, she posted a fake tweet pretending it was a kid. Ukrainians surviving the Russian artillery strike.
Yep.
It's just straight up propaganda. Like, it's just insane. But this is what people do. Yeah. And this, and even when they get caught.
And good eye there, Applejack. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to like it for you.
Well done, sir.
Because Steve didn't do that yet. Very well done. Very well done. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that we include that.
Yeah, we are doing all right. Hope you're all right out there, Gore, and all you fucking beautiful people. The Drizzle Stank, the Apple Jacks, Miss Jelly Love.
So our next
Colby.
our next segment, it's just something I kind of like came across, and we're gonna talk about the kids in drag, but we're not talking about just like, you know, we're talking about a very particular part of it.
Is that the signal for the TB theme song? Is that the section we're on now?
We are on the section where we're talking about Walmart's Walton family is funding the drag queen shows.
Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, pal. Good night, John boy. Yeah, they're that's kind of hella creepy.
Now, would you expect that?
Tell us more.
Now, I've already covered how I feel about, you know, drag queens and doing story hour. I feel like doing drag is a very sexualized act, and it is for adults. Just like you wouldn't bring a kid to a strip club, you know.
Yeah.
You don't bring your kid to that. It's just not, you know, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's just cross-dressing. It is a completely different ballgame. But so as I'm looking into some of this stuff, I come across this and I'm like, wait, what? Walmart was like super conservative. Like that just it like threw up a red flag for me, not a rainbow flag, you know. Whoa. Walmart, you know, like
wah, wah, wah.
So yeah, I started to look into this. This like grabbed my eye. I'm like, wait, why are second and third generation heirs of Walmart founder? Why are they funneling millions of dollars into LGBTQ related causes in their home state of Arkansas? What?
Say what?
It didn't seem like it fit together for me. Like there was like, I'm like, oh, this doesn't seem right. Like, you know,
come on, John boy, what are you saying?
So, you know, among other things, the Walton funded groups and Walmart Foundation have sponsored local drag shows and story hours for kids, teens, and teens only events for LGBTQ, identifying youth, and other progressive causes such as diversity, equality, inclusion programs in public schools, in the State University of oh my god, Fayette. What is that? Fayetteville in Arkansas.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry.
That is correct. Fayetteville.
Arkansas. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sam Walton's daughter, Alice Walton, and grandson, Tom Walton, along with Tom's wife, Olivia, have been at the forefront of these initiatives. I was like, what? Really? Like, someone's messing with me, right? Like, so, and I'm for LGBTQ, you know, events and support. Absolutely. I'm not for this protected class of people that are pushing an agenda onto children. That's a different story.
That is a good point, Little said. The rainbow flag itself was actually the Rainbow Family of the Living Light's first flag. Flag first, I mean.
It's true. Yeah.
True story.
Sam Walton's okay, wait, I said that. The Walton Foundation and the Walmart Foundation are leading sponsors of the Northwest Arkansas's NWA Equality and LGBTQ nonprofit based in Fayetteville. The group stated a mission to provide programs, education, and advocacy to serve, connect, and empower the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer LGBTQ community. which I think is great.
Mm.
I'm all for supporting, the community.
Fully.
That I'm not against.
No, I'm definitely just against that whole idea that thinks that story time and being risque in front of children is fucking in any way cool or okay. It's not. It's not at all. So that shouldn't be fucking funded.
Yeah,
by
there's
fucking
things that are for
anybody,
adults, and there's things that should be for kids. And that's definitely just not that you're not cool by mixing the two. Like, that doesn't make you a cool person. And I'm a person that's been to drag shows, that have had partners that have been in drag shows. I'm not against that. And I did that while I was raising my daughter. And no, she never went to a drag show. She never went and received, she saw my partner dressed up. But that was it. Like, it wasn't in the actual environment. Like,
that's the thing about it. It's like, if you know what I mean? If it was just somebody in drag and they were just pretending to be the opposite sex with no sexualization involved, then what the fuck is that? I don't care about that. That's nothing. But they're not doing that. They're pushing it and pushing it farther and farther, and it's just inappropriate. If you do anything other than just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with somebody wanting to be the opposite sex or look like the opposite sex. There's no impact in that way.
Just like I wouldn't bring a minor to a strip club, I wouldn't bring a
Exactly.
minor to this environment.
That's exactly the same level of it that I'm talking about. I wouldn't bring you can't you can't let
oh yeah, they are aggravated
blur.
progressive. Yes, they
They're
are
just blur.
doing risky drag shows. Like, actually, there's more to this. But yeah, they're doing risky drag shows and inappropriate things in front of children. And taking money, and kids are going up on stage and doing drag themselves. Like this is, and they're taking money from adults. Like, it's gone out of control.
It's like the strip club scene and a birthday party, and
like it would be like
it's
like
fucked up.
It'd be like a strip. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah.
It's not like wholesome. Like, I'm talking about, if people were just in drag, then what would the harm be if they're just literally sitting there reading a book? As long as it's not a fucking inappropriate book, then I don't see the harm in that. But it's not. It's like, there's these stage shows and different things happening in Austin and different towns that
it's happening everywhere.
Like, people are like fucking okay with it. Like, where they're happening, like we're the uptight people about this, really? Like, I don't know. Being gross in front of kids is being gross in front of kids. I don't care what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, no, there's some major they filed Kate, like, yeah, we'll get into that as we go. I don't want to jump ahead of myself here.
Salty. Nobody gets me when I wear my dildo costume at the park and the playground. I mean, it's a playground.
I mean, yeah, like, that's the kind of inappropriateness, like, that feels like this to me.
That's the level that, see, as ridiculous as that is, as Salty is a fucking funny motherfucker, that's exactly the same kind of, like, inappropriateness it is. Like, you just, you know what I mean? There's a fucking time and a place for everything. That's what I think.
Like, I enjoy a drag show, absolutely, but not with a kid. Like, that's just not like that. Why would you? No, that's just not what I want to. Like, I don't.
People just
that
don't
would
act like
spoil
adults.
that with me. Like, like,
people try to blur the line between adult and kid way too fucking much, and on all sorts of creepy levels and shit. And it's it's become more and more socially acceptable, and I can see the fucking why the conservative people are freaking out and acting the way that they are, because that's how outlandish it seems. You know what I
Well,
mean?
because
Things are
there's
just
not a
over-
lot of people
over
on
the
like
top.
this, like on the left or whatever, talking about it. There really isn't. There's not a lot of people talking about what's really happening. And it's like, so people are gravitating more towards this like more conservative side that are talking about these things. And that's where people are finding their like, oh, well, I don't agree with them on a bunch of stuff, but I'm now identifying more as a conservative. And that's what's happening. That's what's it's causing more division by people not addressing it and not talking about it.
And I think there's also a line like of how much certain subjects get fucking light. You know what I mean? Certain things are not happening on such a grand scale. I'm not saying this is happening in every fucking town across the nation, but it is happening more frequently than you would think. And people should talk about it and be like, yeah, really? Are you okay with that kind of idea? You know what I mean? I think it's kind of fucked up. And that will cause more people to have an eye out for that kind of thing and be like, no, fuck no, dude, you can't do that or whatever, or before or whatever their fucking is, whatever their opinion is of it. My point is that like there is a line somewhere where we're like, all right, well, everybody's talking about this topic. You know,
well, we
maybe
need
we're
to
just
protect kids. It's
exacerbating
not
it.
about a left or a right issue. That's
Right.
my problem.
That's
Is that this is about kids and this is about keeping our kids safe. And that's not a fucking like left or a right issue.
Yeah.
That
really
is, I don't, we need to keep our kids safe. That's it. It shouldn't be a divisive issue.
Yeah.
But it isn't being addressed though by a lot of people.
That's what I think is.
All right, let me get back.
You need to specify.
Because there's more to this. So, and I was like, you know, like, why is Walmart funding this? It just doesn't seem right. It just seems like there's an alternative agenda, especially being that they are typically a more conservative, like, you know, like as far as I knew, that's what, you know, like they barely even donated Walmart. They didn't really donate a lot. Their people work off of slave labor. Like they're not in this for the people. Why are they doing this? So in 2018, the Walmart and Walton Foundations donated around $2.5 million to fund a 3-year training program in diversity, equality, and inclusion for DEI called Truth Northwest Arkansas, NWA. Equality was one of the first groups to receive a True North grant, which the Waltons offered in collaboration with the Transgender Equality Network. And like I've said before, one of my best friends is trans. So, you know, we talk about these kind of things. And you know what he tells me is that if we don't talk about it and we don't walk up to the line of where something might be offensive, we don't walk that and go as far as we can, we don't know where the offensive starts and where it stops. So Walmart and the Waltons continue offering grants and capital gifts to NWA Equality as late as 2020. They sponsor LGBT related events in Arkansas, Benton, and Washington counties as part of the group's stated efforts to make drag accessible to new audiences and to place drag shows at the forefront of Northwest Arkansas social calendar. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why drag? NWA's Equality Dickinson Divas drag events, for instance, featured drag queen brunches and children's story times to Arkansas residents in Fayetteville. The group sponsors Northwest Arkansas Pride, the state's largest LGBTQ pride celebration. And like, I don't care if somebody wants to dress up as the opposite gender, whether or not it's something that whether they're trans or not. Like, do you. I don't really care. I don't think that any store or anyone should tell you that you can't wear a skirt, or you can wear a skirt, or you can't wear this, or you can't wear that. Like, wear what you want. Do what you want. But don't do sexualized things in front of children.
Yes, please. Please. If you're going to wear your skirt, boys, you know, try to keep it down in front. Be careful when you sit down, you know.
Yeah.
Cross your legs like a proper
You
young
don't have
lady.
to cross your legs. I don't
Cross
even
your freaking
my
legs, fella.
I don't even cross my legs all the time.
Beauty tips from Steve.
Yeah, no. Let's oh my God. That would be funny though if we dressed you up.
No, I'm not going to do that. I draw the line at being a unicorn with rainbow colored hair.
Whatever. Okay, so the Equality Crew, a beneficiary of the Waltons 2021 LGBTQ Advancement Fund, hosted a children's event during NWA's Equality Pride Parade in June. They even have a thing called the Youth Zone at the Walton Arts Center. So they talk about how they do a sensory zone, clearly targeting children and on the autism spectrum, who also available for youth needing a break from sights and sounds. Well, that's good. It's good to have that. Gender confusion is particularly common among a young person on the autism spectrum who have a difficulty grasping social roles, making them particularly vulnerable to the suggestion that they could change their gender. Now, I think that is something that is worth noting right there. As more children are, like autism is there's, I mean, if you don't know an autistic child, then, you probably don't know many children. I know many, and I know many people that have, that are like, that have talked to me about, children with autism. When I worked at the homeless shelter for families, I worked with autistic children a lot. Those are actually the children that I connected with the most on. We didn't have to necessarily have the conversation, to communicate. But this right here, the fact that they say that it can be particularly common among young people on the autism spectrum. So more children are becoming autistic, and then they're targeting these children in this way. And what does that bring in? I mean, to me, it's like this just brings in more of the transhumanist agenda, right? Dehumanizing people, and oh God. Just, it's alarming, and when you start putting the connections together, you're like, wait a minute,
the bells go off.
Yeah,
Ding. That's what mine sounds like. It just sounds like ding, like your idea bulb, light bulb.
So they've had to have shows canceled due to safety concerns, because people are upset about what they're doing.
Fuck yeah.
People are upset about like that this is happening. I mean, and then they do stuff like they do, things that are great to help with the LGBTQ, right? They do a support thing where they have, free haircuts and a local stylist. They have a transition closet, where they donate clothes and accessories and stuff like that. And so if they're, if they say they're seeking transgender transition, then they have a closet and they can go get some clothes. And that's great that they're getting support, that people in the community are getting support and acceptance, but the agenda behind it is what I have a problem with. It's not the people. It's the agenda that's being pushed and the manipulation. And if we notice anything from the last couple of years, is that people can really be pushed and manipulated. And I just don't want to see people being manipulated in any way. So they had to do a cancellation at the library after receiving complaints, because most concerns, right, right here. Most concerns were centered on the dance party and the associated drag show. It's not that they're doing haircuts and that they have school supplies and all those things to help with the kids, right?
Mhm.
It's not that. People have an issue with the drag show part of it. So this is also increasing the violent number of attacks that are happening, right? And people in this community are being attacked. And why are they being attacked? Because a target's being put on their back.
Well, yeah, I mean they kind of have that target anyway, but you're absolutely right. Being more.
Yeah, they're putting a vulnerable population, a very small, it's a much smaller population.
Yeah.
They
are kind of. It's always about marginalizing, fucking making as much division as possible, and appearing to help the weakest of them. And that's it's just a model. That's what the fuck they do. Then why would Walmart be any different?
Yeah, well, exactly. But I'm just saying, like, in general, what's happening right now is that these guys are being targeted already. You're already in a minority group, and then you're putting that minority group on target. So even people that aren't doing these things are being attacked because other people within this are. So it's really, it's really making it's dividing the LGBTQ. It's dividing up, all the people that are supposed to be part of, like, a community. And, being part of that community, like, you can be LGBTQ and not be part of that, like, community aspect of it. Like, it's really, it depends on how much you insert yourself into it. But I mean, I think that, I would like to know how are they benefiting? How is Walmart benefiting from doing that?
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks good. It looks like to the outside people, it looks like, people are getting, support. Because I'm like they get a credit. It's like because of the way that everything works now, right? Everything is like a virtue signal, or like, you check these boxes. So they're getting credit basically for being, woke or in the know or whatever, terminology is appropriate for this.
I just want to mention that Jason Rodriguez is a hashtag brilliant hashtag maker.
Who is Jason? What did he do?
These guys are using the fucking Save Steve Cutler live.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I have to put it in the show notes.
Oh my god!
Save Steve Cutler. That's what it was.
Do you guys think that Walmart's doing this because they really care?
Well, of course.
So I have a second article here, and I think this one is a little bit more, of a conservative CBN CBN News. I think it's it's a Christian perspective. It's what it is. Christian perspective. So I was like, that's kind of like what came to my mind from there. I'm like, well, what are the Christians doing about this? Like, because that is a Bible Belt area, right? I mean, am I wrong with that? Down south? Huh?
It sounded funny. What do the Christians think about
well, because I know I thought like it's just it didn't seem like the pieces were fitting together. Why would Walmart be pro this? Like I just did. I mean, I could see them doing LGBTQ stuff, but doing actual like drag shows. That was just shocked me. I don't know why. Maybe
Shocking.
I didn't think it would be in like the more in the Bible Belt area.
Yeah. V.S. Adams. How conservative.
So high profile institutions like Disney have been under fire by family groups for years, pro LGBT policies and activism. But there's another powerful force that's now on the radar for many conservative critics. The Walton family and their Walmart Foundation are suddenly getting lots of attention. It's no secret that the heirs of Walmart Foundation, Sam Walton, gave millions of dollars to LGBTQ related causes and events in their home state of Arkansas. Walton's daughter Alice Walton and grandson Tom Walton, along with their wives Olivia, have spearheaded these initiatives. Last year, the Alice Walton Foundation and Walton Family Foundation established the Arkansas LGBTQ Plus Advancement Fund, a statewide $1 million fund designed to distribute grants of $25,000 and above for Arkansas-based organizations that provide services to the LGBTQ community. But conservative critics point out these organizations funded by the Walton and Walmart Foundations have also sponsored local drag shows and drag story hours for kids.
Well. What do you know about that? Thanks, Mary Ellen. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Grandpa. If you pull it up farther, I'll read some. In a new analysis by the Heritage Foundation, research associate Jillian Richards wrote, both the Walton Family Foundation and the Walmart Foundation are leading sponsors of the Northwest Arkansas NWA Equality and LGBTQ nonprofit based in Fayetteville. The group's stated mission is to provide programs, education, and advocacy to serve, connect, and empower the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community.
I don't know if we were going to read all of that.
Okay. So, according to the group's website, it brought local drag shows out of nightclubs, making the drag accessible to a new audience with Arkansas's first drag bingo.
What?
I-28. In addition, the group's Dixon Divas expanded to include the drag brunches, children's story times, and charitable activities. You're like moving it too fast.
I'm sorry. I know I was saying we don't need to read all of it, but like they're basically saying like the same thing. It's just that they have an issue with the drag show themselves. That's like most.
Yeah, I see that. Yep. There's other news there. I see. But okay.
So I have this other part to it.
That Walmart guy probably LGBTQ. Is someone cheating at Scrabble?
What?
Chris Foster said. Seb might need an intervention. He apparently found his fundamentalist side.
What are you like? Are you pulling a Jackson Hinkle?
He went full Hinkle a while back there. He's pulled back a little since then.
Jackson Hinkle suddenly like religious and like against OnlyFans and all this stuff. I'm like, what is happening? I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Next thing you know, Andrew Tate is fucking in jail. Weird.
I know. Okay. So let's get back to this. Affirming teacher and school staff database.
Agreed, Jilly.
So this is something that This is from I think,
Equality Crew.
the Walmart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the Walmart. This is what they're doing.
The We Dream communities across Arkansas and surrounding areas, where all the LGBTQ are loved, appreciated, and welcome. That's nice of them.
Okay, you're just gonna.
Oh, do you want me to keep reading?
So this is
This what?
This is a database that they created.
Mhm.
That is supposed to be confidential. So it says, please follow the following steps to help create and complete the database registration form. By completing this form, your contact information will be added to the Equality Crew Affirming Teacher and School Staff database and will only be shared with LGBTQ plus youth within your school district / building who request to be connected to affirming teachers and school staff. So they make it where you can like connect confidentially and like kind of like say what it is that, you know what I mean, like what your LGBT,
What your pronouns are.
What your pronouns are,
And
what you
such.
prefer, and all of that stuff ahead of time. So it's through our confidential affirming teacher is school staff database. Research shows that having support at home and in school and their community is the strongest defense against attempted suicide among LGBTQ plus youth.
Okay, I could see that being possibly a good tool, but it seems like you're just kind of, taking away the difficulty of communicating. I mean, I don't know. Why do you need that little go-between thing?
Yeah, they came up with that ahead of the 2021 school year so that the confused kids could connect with teachers who affirm their and share their sexual identities ahead of time.
I don't know if I don't know how I feel about that. I think ultimately everybody has that ability to share that with a teacher if you're like that mature, but is everybody like on that level at in ninth grade or whatever going into high school? That just seems weird. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? What do you think? I don't know what you think.
It's a lot on kids.
It's a lot on kids, it seems. You're putting a lot of responsibility on
they have to like
child.
know what their gender is going to be now. They have to like figure that out. And like, what if they don't, like.
Sick. That's awesome, Applejack.
What?
He said him and his buddies made the 20 grand for their tour for the poor there in Ohio for New Year's.
Awesome.
Sick. That's amazing. And don't take anything Applejack says seriously in the chat because he's just fucking with you. Because he's like that. We like that.
All right, what is this here? Okay, and so another thing that's been going on with this Walton family. It's just really interesting to me, like all this LGBT funding that they're doing, and then the drag show with it.
Yeah. Weird.
So this is from the Daily Signal, and this is from November 21st, 2022. And this families of 4 trans-identifying youth and 2 doctors represented by the American Civil Liberties Union testified last month against the Arkansas law banning sex reassignment treatment for minors. Behind the effort to strike down the Arkansas Safe Adolescents from Experimentation, the SAFE Act is the wealthiest family in the nation. So they're pro this act. I have it, the bill, and I can put it in the chat for people if you guys want to check it out. Let me put that over here. All right. So let me see. So the Alice L. Walton Foundation, Olivia and Tom Walton, throughout the Walton Family Foundation, launched a $1 million LGBTQ advancement fund after the Arkansas legislation passed the SAFE Act in June 2021. The Waltons Fund offered grants for organizations in Arkansas that provide critical services to the LGBTQ plus community.
Mm-hmm. Ba-ba-bum-ba-dum-bum.
So, who are these grants going to? Well, right here is where we discover that. The fund, so the Waltons Fund offered grants ranging from $25,000 to $150,000 to LGBT programs in Arkansas. These include the Equity Crew, Northeast Arkansas Equity, Central Arkansas Pride, and the Transition Closet. The Equality Crew has advertised LGBTQ themed current events featuring drag queen story hours for shows for children in Fayetteville, Arkansas. One of these events, a teen-only back-to-school night for LGBTQ youth at the public library, was canceled because of safety concerns. So, opposition to the SAFE Act. In the months leading up to the Waltons initiative, the Arkansas State Legislature voted to pass the SAFE Act in April 2021. Arkansas Governor Hutchinson, a Republican, vetoed the bill on April 6th. That same day, Tom Walton released a statement supporting the veto. We are alarmed by the string of policy targeting LGBT people in Arkansas, wrote Walton, whose hands the Walton Family Foundation's home region program. The trend is harmful and sends the wrong message to those willing to invest or visit our state. But they're really pushing this for what reason, what purpose, though?
He added, we implore government, business, and community leaders to consider the impact of existing and future policy that limits basic freedom and does not promote inclusiveness in our communities and economies. Yeah.
So then the state legislature vetoed the governor on the same day. They overrode his veto. So in July, Jay Moody, a temporary, blocked the SAFE Act from taking effect in response to a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties on behalf of 4 families of trans-identifying youth and 2 doctors. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you think they're actually fighting for these families? Do you think they're trying to do good?
I think, they got a lot of tax incentive to do stuff like this. I don't know. I don't know how that balances out with their fucking checkbook.
Well, if you go somewhere like the Human Rights Organization, you can look up the Corporate Equity Index.
Sure.
What is that? They have, you might have gotten these stickers in the mail. I have before, the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. Yeah. You get a ranking for how LGBTQ, like, you are. So you could find out, like where the company rates. How much do they support? They have a whole, like, they have standards that you have to meet, and like, you don't want to be, you want to make sure that you're part of this, right? Like, you are included in getting a positive rating to make sure that you're giving enough equality for people.
Well, you don't want to look like,
But that's the thing, is that you can do just enough so that you get a rating on this, and it doesn't actually, you don't actually support the LGBTQ, right? Because if you actually support it, then you would give people a living, oh wait, no, not a living wage, a thriving wage.
impossible.
People wouldn't be like, living paycheck to paycheck and being able to afford to be on, state assistance to get food stamps and things like that, because they would be making enough money at your company. You wouldn't need to, you wouldn't need to show that you would just be supporting people in general, because you would have a good business model. You wouldn't be looking for your corporate equity and where are you going to rate on there. Because we would know that you have a great company because you do these things and you practice these things, and you don't need to have a report done about you. Steve's laughing at me. So it's just like, when the military puts the rainbow, the rainbows on the bombs for you, you're checking off the box. We need to stop participating in this kind of thing. Like, this is what we need to, like, stop participating in.
Oh, sure. You want me to stop affirmating the greatness of the Walton family? Is that what you're telling me?
I just don't trust them.
Yeah, kind of sus. That's the thing, is like every time somebody does something kind, then you have to like, oh, really? Especially when it's a big, ugly corporation. Like, is this nefarious, or are they just trying to... No, they're still scumbags because they still not budgeting.
No, because there would be
wage,
other ways that they would be showing that they care.
Yeah, the wages.
Like,
fundamentally.
And then, they came, I came across this, like, and this is on cityjournal.org, Walmart.inc has launched a critical race theory training program that denounces the United States as a white supremacy system and teaches white hourly wage employees that they are guilty of white supremacy thinking and internalized racial superiority. According to the Cashapp of internal documents I have obtained from a whistleblower, Walmart launched the program in 2018 in partnership with the Racial Equality Institute in Greensboro, North Carolina, consulting firm. See, you have to have a consulting firm come in and tell you that what you know what I mean? That
Well, you want to make the best decision that you can. You don't want to just jump to conclusions.
You don't want to just be, like instead of having extra consulting firms and spending money and doing a program that's based on critical race theory and making your employees, Like instead of doing all this, maybe help the people that work there. Give them a wage that they can thrive off of. I think that's more beneficial than having employees go through some training that they're going to zone out on.
Sleep well, Angela Sangster.
Good night, Angela.
We'll see you next time.
So Walmart has trained more than 1,000 employees and made the program mandatory for executives and recommended for hourly wage workers in Walmart stores. And I'm not against, knowing true history, but should you have to learn it at a minimum wage job? Isn't it like part of like the educational system that you should be learning the truth?
Yeah, well, they memory hole everything, so you can't really learn the truth.
And how do you know what Walmart is portraying by this firm that, okay, yeah, this is the approved narrative of what you're allowed to say. I haven't seen their training program, so I'm completely assuming, what they may or may not say. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have the documents. We need the documents. Where are the Walmart documents, Sam Walton? Why don't you tell me about your agenda? Huh? Seriously, man. I don't know what I'm talking about at all, but, I would spend hours confusing you if I had the chance.
And I am not against the truth. I want the truth. Right. I want the truth. I want it to be but when there's an agenda involved, I mean, what are they trying to do with this?
Yeah, it is it is what are they doing? What is it?
I don't know.
It's the same old slimy. It is probably the same old slimy.
Jilly, it is strange to agree with assholes. I don't know what you're...
It is. That's the second time she's done that to us. She's just like, oh, Steve Bannon. Yeah, you agree with him, don't you?
I know. I agree with him on something. I it's crazy to me that it's easier for me to find things that I agree with people that it wouldn't be like the first person that I thought I would agree with on. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa.
And that's the thing about people is they'll say a sentence or two in a row that you agree with completely, and then everything else that comes out of their mouth is fucking batshit crazy. So you can't, you know what I mean? You can't base it on one thing. There's so many possibilities.
And if you want to know more about the Walton family, this is this is where you can find them. I mean, maybe they do amazing things in the community, but I think they're overstepping it when it comes to the drag shows with the children. Just overstepping it. And, I don't know. There just always seems to be that there's a connection between all the same places over and over again. As expected, of course, Walmart, the Walton family, is connected to the World Economic Forum. Yes, and Salty, of course, a broken clock is right twice a day. That's true. That is true. That is true. Yeah. It's just, like, what the hell? So yeah, I wasn't expecting all of that. Like when it came into that stuff, I'm like, man. And then and then there's all this stuff happening to the north of us, our friends up in Canada. And I'm like, Trudeau is a WEF puppet. And so, like, it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's like you can find the tie and the connections really easily.
Yeah, we're all connected. We're all WEF puppets at this fucking point, man.
So I wanted to give everybody an update on some of the stuff that we have been dealing with. When we've been covering when it comes to MAID in Canada. There's been a lot happening. I've dedicated 3 entire shows full of information to what's happening in Canada with MAID. And I hope that people making enough of a stink about it has started to, bring more attention, bring it to people's attention, and hopefully get this to, get them to reconsider. Applejack. So they are seeking to delay the MAID expansion that will cover the mental illness aspect of it. So I think that, people are making enough of a stink about this that I think that it's getting out there, that the information is getting out there. I'm hoping that people will continue to make a stink about it. This is not, I haven't seen this covered enough. Like there's a lack of the coverage of it. Like I've heard mention of it here and there, but I really haven't seen much of a coverage. I don't watch every podcast. I can't.
Why not? There's only like 7,000 every day.
But I mean, if you guys have seen it covered, then that's awesome. But if you haven't, please share the streams that I've done, and please get this information out there, because I feel like this is the only way we're going to have a chance of it not coming to the United States, is if it doesn't go to Canada first.
They'll get it in there. Because people, you got to have a way to get rid of them.
Well, something's happening. All these supposedly elected officials, are all of a sudden back on like the Medicare for All campaign. Like they abandoned it for 2 years and now they're like back on it. Like what? So I'm just, I'm paying attention and I'm seeing, the pieces being moved around, and I'm going, the only way that they would bring in Medicare for All after the whole pandemic thing has happened would be either because people are so outraged by medical need, injury, whatever. I'm not going to get into it.
They suddenly have a need for medical attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or because they're going to be like, well, we can implement something like this. And we know people will use it. Something like MAID.
Right. And then can just implement the whole structure really quickly and easily.
Yeah. So the federal government is seeking to delay the expansion of medical assistance in dying, MAID law, which is set to include those for suffering solely from mental illness starting in March. So what happened is, I might go into this in this article, but in 2016 is when it passed. And it's set to expire, actually, that the mental health wouldn't be included is really what it is. The way that it's phrased here is different. Justice Minister David Lamenti, is that Lamenti? Did I get that right? And Minister for Mental Health Addictions Carolyn Bennett said Thursday they'll present legislation in the House of Commons to extend that deadline. Lamenti said the extension would give the government more time to set up standards for assisted dying requests from individuals whose sole underlying condition is mental illness, and would provide and would give provinces and medical professionals time to get ready for the change. We want to be prudent. We want to move in a step-by-step way so that we don't make mistakes, Lamenti said. He did not indicate what the new deadline would be. So here, I can play this. Let me mute us.
Right now, medical assistance in dying is reserved for people who are suffering from a physical illness. Ottawa was going to change that in March to also include people suffering solely from mental illness. But now it wants a delay.
This is a very complex question. Many are concerned about how this will impact them and their loved ones.
The Justice Minister says this will give provinces and medical professionals time to get ready for the change and his government time to set standards.
We are committed to ensuring that our laws protect everyone.
In 2019, a Quebec court found the law was too restrictive. Some senators also pressured the government to open up access. Now, some experts say this delay will only prolong the suffering of those with severe mental illness waiting for that to happen.
Their condition is incurable. They are in an advanced state of declining capability. They were waiting for March to start a long and arduous process of being assessed.
But others are welcoming the move, a chance, they say, to develop educational tools and guidelines for the healthcare system.
For how to safely assess issues of vulnerability, whether how we're distinguishing suicide from a rational desire for MAID, how we're determining what is incurable and irreversible in mental illness.
The opposition has its own concerns.
The government had plenty of time to introduce legislation this fall. They didn't do that. And what we got from the minister today was nothing in the way of specifics, just a vague commitment to negotiate with the other opposition parties.
There is no sense of exactly when the new legislation will be proposed or what kind of deadline extension the government will seek. The minister insisting today he won't negotiate that publicly. Rafi Bujikani, CBC News, Ottawa.
All right, we're back.
I like how that guy said his name at the end. That was cool.
Yeah.
He had an interesting accent.
Huh?
Very Canadian. Very Ottawan.
How do I make this go down now?
Go down now. Just get
I don't know how to make
get
it
out
do
of
it.
there. Get it.
Steve, I don't know how to do it. I made it big and now there's nowhere for me to.
Right now, medical assistance in dying is reserved for people who are suffering from a physical.
I figured it out. So
how do I do it?
The government, that's what I was saying. The government passed legislation in 2016, but the Superior Court of Quebec struck down in 2019 because it was limited to those whose deaths were reasonably foreseeable. So Bill C-7, which passed in March of 2021, removed that requirement in line with the court's ruling. The government originally intended to impose a blanket ban in legislation on assistance in dying for people who solely from mental illness. But under pressure from senators who believed the exclusion was unconstitutional, it subsequently put a 2-year time limit on that ban, which was set to expire this coming March. That's what I was getting at earlier, is that it was expiring. It wasn't like something that was new. This has been in motion for a long time.
Right.
So they will have a short time frame to work with the extent of the deadline, because they go on winter break. They won't be returning until late January. They get so many breaks. The government, like, to be a government employee, my goodness.
Well, at least, yeah, in certain roles.
Yeah.
Certain elected positions in the U.S., man, is a fucking cake.
Well, this is Canada,
And
too.
Canada,
I mean,
and
it's
Canada,
just...
Same kind of thing.
So the Liberals insisted up until now at the 11th hour they're going ahead, and it speaks to the reckless ideological approach the government has been taking on this issue. So I mean, it's gonna be a matter of whether or not they can get this to stop.
Well, yeah, if they have the votes, they can make sure it doesn't happen, but I don't know how that's going to work out there. But, you know, what are you going to do? Jason Rodriguez in his house. I was just blaming you for starting a trend.
So they're now saying, now I covered this before.
Clearly, Jesus told him.
Oops. What? Oh, wait. I want to not go to that part first. I want to go over to this other part first. Is it over here?
I don't know.
I think I found it.
Birch water. That sounds delicious. I like birch beer. You know, also ginger beer. Also sassafras root beer. Anybody ever make like root beer out of maple?
Okay.
Just wondering.
Okay, I'm gonna have another video clip to play for you guys. Hang on one sec.
Vrackus is a talented painter. Georgia Vrackus is a talented painter, but her true passion is psychology, and she has a unique perspective as both a therapist and patient.
I'm Broken by Georgia Vrackus.
Vrackus began suffering from depression at 23 years old, but it took 2 decades before she got the right diagnosis.
I was having a major depressive episode, and I didn't understand what was happening to me. And I just wanted to die.
Once Vrackus learned she had bipolar disorder, she received the proper treatment and medication. But she worries about what could have happened if medical assistance in dying, or MAID, had been available in her darkest hours, when she felt she had nowhere else to go.
The thing is, if they had offered me something like that, because years of suffering, I may have said yes. Maybe a year ago.
Dr. Vrackus, you have 5 minutes.
Vrackus testified before a parliamentary committee that Canada should not open MAID up to people with mental illness. They would have been eligible in March until the federal government backtracked.
We know we need to get this right.
The Liberals are planning to extend the deadline after psychiatrists across the country warned the healthcare system was not ready, including Dr. Simon Hatcher at the Ottawa General Hospital.
We can't be bothered to fund decent mental health services, but we can fund your death.
Dr. Hatcher says there are still too many unknowns.
What are the rules around deciding what makes something irreversible?
It's not clear how long the extension will last because the Liberals still have to table legislation in the new year. But the Justice Minister says he has no intentions on backing away from the plan.
We have rigorous eligibility criteria.
Supporters insist there are proper safeguards and argue the delay will only prolong suffering.
A lot of people with mental disorders will yet again feel like they're being told by their government and being told by their society that their diseases aren't as painful as those with physical disorders.
Instead of trying to, find ways to, so we die with dignity, maybe we should focus on helping us live with dignity.
A life and death debate as Canada prepares to enter new legal territory. Taria Isri, Global News.
So, I've gone extensively into MAID, but I really feel like those are some really those are good points,
Pretty good points.
Why should it be like finding ways for people to die with dignity? Shouldn't they be able to live with a dignity? Like that's what I've been saying all along.
Yeah.
And there's something else that this might just put you over the top if you see this. I don't know if you guys have heard that they have a coloring book for MAID.
Oh, that's nice. In case you want to color. Sure. Coloring is fun when you want to die. It's better than dying. Come on.
I'm going to show you guys this coloring book that they have.
Coloring is more fun than dying. That's the campaign.
And there's people that are defending the coloring book.
That's the campaign, isn't it?
They're like, it's okay. Kids need to have a coloring book to kind of understand the whole thing,
Brought to you by Crayola.
Yeah, imagine. So Medical Assistance in Dying MAID activity book. Welcome. These activities will help you think about medical assistance in dying by someone in your life.
So they're coping tools, right?
Yeah, for children.
For children.
How does MAID work? A person having MAID will get 3 different medicines. They're usually given an IV. IV stands for intravenous and means in the vein.
That's a big word.
A very small needle is used to place a small plastic straw that goes into the person's vein. Then the needle is taken out and the straw can be used to send medicine straight into the person's body, into their blood.
Scary.
I mean, at what age is this appropriate?
That's an
That a coloring book would be still appropriate.
That's an IO for a human being.
The 3 medicines work like this. The first medicine makes the person feel very relaxed and fall asleep. They may yawn or snore or mumble. The second medicine causes a coma. A coma looks like sleep, but it's much deeper than regular sleep. The person will not wake up or be bothered by noise or touch.
They're just very sleepy.
And the third medicine makes the person's lungs stop breathing and their heart stops beating because of the coma. The person does not notice this happening. It does not hurt. When their heart and lungs stop working, their body dies. It will stop working again. This often happens in just a few minutes, but sometimes rarely it can take hours. So we covered this on the last episode about what can go wrong with this and how they're, with lethal injections and stuff like that they've done. for prisoners, how there's been foam in the lungs, how there's been complications, and there's been issues from this. And sometimes it gives a sensation of a person drowning and that they are aware of this. We covered this in the last episode.
Yep, I remember. Yep.
So, I mean, like,
gearing this towards children is some dark shit. You're right, Jenna. That's exactly what I was thinking. Looking at it, it looks,
I mean, you think about who the target audience is for this.
Yeah.
This isn't like something you would give a teenager. You would talk to them. You're not going to give them a coloring book. This is geared for the young.
This is fucking sketched.
So asking for MAID, first, a person who has a serious illness or disease or disability asks if they can have MAID. Deciding if a person can have MAID. Next, 2 or 3 MAID assessors meet with the person. These are members of the person's health care team who carefully decide if they're eligible to have MAID. Eligible means that they have had everything they need to be allowed to have something, in this case, MAID. That they've had everything that they need to be allowed. And we'll cover that in just a minute. We'll cover that just put a pin in that little part right there. A person can only have MAID if they're at least 18 years old. And if, okay, so it's changing very soon where it will be under 18 years old that they can have this. So this will, this is, I believe that this came out in August, this book. I didn't know about this coloring book with the last episodes. So they have a serious illness, disease, or disability that hurts their body or their mind so much that it feels too hard to keep living. What are they instilling in the children?
That's pretty freaky.
Medicines may not have been able to help their body or mind feel better, and there's no cure. Nothing can make the illness or disability go away, even if the person and their health care team tried everything they could. And then this is a space for you to draw what you think and feel.
Oh, creepy. Even creepier.
So what do you guys think? You want a MAID coloring book?
Oh, boy. I'm not comfortable with this coloring book.
It's not the kind of coloring book I gave Skyla when she was little. My daughter. Yeah, P stuff, right? It's like paint by numbers, IV coma. Broken heart. And people were like, well, it's so that they can explain, to little kids. But like, there's enough of them that you think that you needed to manufacture coloring books?
Yeah, how many people are actually dying with this?
How many people were involved with this procedure to make a coloring book for kids to learn that somebody's, like they're going to kill somebody?
How many people are actually dying?
Well, we went through the statistics in the last episode that we covered this. Yeah. We'll have to put the links for the other shows in the show notes to this, like when we do the episode of this. I mean,
I know it increased from what it was. Like it went up a lot already.
Oh yeah, the numbers going up, and this isn't even and they have a pause right now on the mental health aspect, but they're children are going to, mature minors.
Yes, that's right.
There are mature minors. So what if you're old enough to not need the coloring book? Does that mean you're mature? That you can get MAID yourself? Well, I mean, what is their gauge? It doesn't seem like they have their shit together with this. I understand that it's for, like, you know, it's not necessarily for the children to have made themselves, that it is a tool to be used, but it's a very, you know, the fact that they're going to be allowing children, mature minors, just alarming to me, you know.
Yeah. Kind of icky business.
Yeah, guys, I'm with you. Yeah, so now, and we're talking about somewhere that has healthcare, right? So what's happening with their healthcare there? How is that working out? You know, because we've talked before about the veterans. Actually, the last episode that we talked about MAID, that we did an entire show on, we talked about the veteran right here.
Yep.
And she's a former Paralympian, you know, and she's a vet, and she was offered assisted death, and there she is. So it's just alarming, like that. So remember I said put a pin in it. How are they doing, you know, with healthcare? So there was an article that we covered previously that the you know, the Veterans Department offered her MAID as a solution to having to put her wheelchair, like basically roll down the stairs with her wheelchair, because they didn't get her a chairlift yet.
Yeah.
4 years. She's been fighting for a chairlift, and they were like, well, do you want MAID? So now she came out and she spoke out about this in what is it, Parliament? Is that?
Yep.
So she spoke out about it, and she was like, I have the documented proof. And then Veterans Affairs is like, we can't find anything in the files to suggest that the former member of the military, a Paralympic athlete, that she was offered medical assistance in dying. She wasn't offered that by a department employee. That's what they told that deputy minister in the House of Commons.
Yeah. Straight up lied.
So Paul Ledwell told the Veterans Affairs Committee that the department was examined over 400,000 individual files as part of its internal investigation of allegations that veterans have been offered or have been pressured to accept assisted deaths.
That's some fucking heinous shit right there. That's the kind of nefarious thing that you just don't even want to consider, that, you know, for the good that the thing does, there's that much room for it to be fucking just used like in a gross way, in a fucked up nefarious way.
As it's okay,
making money off of death and stuff. You're suffering, you know.
But then you're going to treat, then even after that, you're going to say, oh no, there is no letter that states that.
Yeah.
So Christine, a former member of the Canadian military and ex-Paralympian, with a severe spinal cord injury, shocked MPs and committees last week by testifying that the Department of Veterans Affairs offered her the opportunity for medically assisted death. And then they said they conducted a specific review of Gothier's. That's her name, last name Gothier's case filed in response to her testimony. There's no indication in the files, in any correspondence, in any notion based on engagement with a veteran of reference to MAID.
That's what the Veterans Affairs Committee did. That's what I told them. The veterans, if the veteran has material or any indication of that, we again, as we've invited for other veterans, we would welcome seeing that, reviewing that, and making part of that our best part of that. Making that part of our investigation.
You gotta read it?
Yeah. So Gauthier, who competed for Canada at the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Paralympics and Invictus Games in the same year, spoke before the same committee last Thursday, testifying mostly in French. She said the Veterans Department offered her assistance in dying and that she wrote registered letters to both Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Veterans Affairs Minister Macaulay about it. The committee asked for a copy of her information in subsequent media interview, and Gauthier said the offer of medically assisted suicide was made verbally in a 2019 conversation with a Veterans Affairs employee. She said she made a note of it in her personal files. She told CBS News Monday she was shocked to hear her department's denial, and she produced a copy of the letter, which she raised her concerns, adding that she would expect it to be placed in her department file. Do I believe them when they say they have no proof of the files? No, she said. In preparation for her testimony last week, she said she took note of how the department had acknowledged only 4 suspected cases of Veterans Affairs staffers recommending MAID. She said to herself, well, there's more than 4.
Did you want? So they're investigating this further, and you know, it's just pretty crazy. Like, you know, like she's just like, no, I know there's more than 4, because I'm sure that they talk. You know, I'm sure that there's people communicating with other people. Like, you know, she's part of a team.
Yeah, Colley told the committee last month that an internal investigation found that 1 department employee is believed to have inappropriately counseled as many as 4 veterans on the possibility of ending their lives with a doctor's assistance. The matter has been turned over to the RCMP for further investigation. The minister stuck to that line before the committee on Monday, saying the department is still only aware of 4 cases. He urged other former members of the military who might have been similarly pressured, including Gauthier, to contact the department directly so that they can be included in the ongoing investigation. I indicated quite clearly that there were 4 cases involving 1 case manager. Totally unacceptable, Macaulay said. Veterans Affairs officers does not provide MAID services at all. Gauthier said her letter to the Prime Minister's office was acknowledged, and she sent similar letter to Macaulay. But on Monday, the minister flatly denied ever having heard from her about medically assisted dying. First of all, there's been an indication made that I received information that somebody wrote to me indicating that the MAID had been discussed with them. That is not the case, Macaulay said. Gauthier, who said she's been battling the department for 5 years to obtain a wheelchair ramp or a lift, added she still has the postage slips confirming delivery. Macaulay was asked about the disconnect between Gauthier's testimony and his own. I can only deal with the facts I have, he responded. Conservative MP and committee deputy chair Blake Richards said he's aware anecdotally of 8 separate complaints from veterans. Some of those veterans, he said, are reluctant to trust the department because of the way they've been treated in the past. You were aware of this case back in 2021 and clearly didn't pay attention to it, Richards told Macaulay during the minister's committee appearance. You keep telling us that there's 4, and now we know there's more than 4, without a doubt. Following the committee's meeting, Richards said any veteran watching the testimony would have been incredibly disappointed.
So that's just, that's how they're treating the people. And they have health care, and they're like, yeah, this is cheaper. They've said this.
Yep. Cheaper. Yeah, well, you need a wheelchair ramp. Well, that's a couple grand. We can kill you for about $300.
Yeah. This is I'm going to put the link in that is the one for the previous article that we covered. I'll put that in the chat on the YouTube. We'll make sure we put some.
YouTube.
And this is the article that we just read. So,
yeah, you better,
if they're lying and manipulating about this already,
all I can say is you better get to hurrying up and dying. Everybody.
No.
Well, God damn it. I don't know what else they want from us. It seems,
Rob!
I don't know, maybe it's just crazy. Maybe I'm just a crazy guy and I just imagine things, but it feels like the rich motherfuckers who run everything want less of us on the planet and want us all to die.
Without getting into any other details about what might be
and
happening.
It just seems that way. It's just the overall vibe I'm getting. It's like a death vibe, I guess. I don't know. What do you call that?
Yeah.
It's some kind of death vibe. Rob Juno. No, see, Rob Juno makes the death vibe go away. He's the antidote.
I mean,
no, Medicare for all is looking better now because, for obvious chess reasons, chess moves.
Yeah, I seriously, Jason, I know it's alarming, but people need it otherwise. We need to figure out some solutions, and we need to get our shit together because the evil motherfuckers have their shit together.
Yeah, they've had it together. They've been working on a plan.
They have Blackrock. They have, all these big corporations. They all have their shit together.
They have all the money. They have all the organization for 60 plus years trying to implement their shit. And it's all falling into place right now, right before your eyes.
So we need to get our shit together.
Yeah. Yes, let's all get our shit together. Hear, hear. Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I was bound for Mexico.
You guys want to put in a little secret? Rob Juno sounds just like my dad.
That is
His voice makes me, hits me right there. Because I miss my dad. I mean, so we have major corporations and everything. There's the WEF is in everything. Blackrock, Vanguard, Blackstone. It's all connected.
Clink. Yeah, man.
It's always connected. And people need to start seeing these dots and start seeing that this is what the problem is. It's a bigger problem. We have a much bigger problem than worrying about politicians. Yeah. And who said what?
Yeah.
And doing commentating like on what other people are already covering, and this and that. Like, it's all a distraction.
Everything.
The real fucking shit is happening, and it's not like this like, it's not like the big sexy story, that we're being fucked over. It's not.
No, everything else is the
But
distraction.
It is
from
the
heinous
distraction
things.
from like who is really, these investment companies are seriously like,
they control the media. They can do what they want. They can make you look this way and that way and not see the fucking thing right in front of you. Like, that's the game, and they're the masters of it, and have all the funding. They have all the resources, and they've had 60 years of being an organized thing trying to fuck you over. And they're doing it. That's the thing. That's the thing we're trying to like make people aware of. Before, we don't have a voice to say it either, because they're taking them away. As Julian can attest, he was probably like the number one thing that could have fucking made an impact in that way, and just unraveled shit for people.
So in case you weren't here in the beginning, we were talking about how BlackRock, one investment firm, is going to be going in and helping Zelensky spend all the money that the United States government is sending over there.
Big Daddy Pedo.
So the money's being sent there. It's by this huge investment company that has a quarter of the money. They own 90+% of the media. They have an algorithm called Aladdin that they are using, this algorithm, this AI technology.
That's what runs the world economy.
And that is what runs, the world's economy.
Yay. Go Star Trek.
We don't really have an economy. Like the AI, the robots are already here. It's already, we need to stop this now. We don't have time.
Like, it's like the equivalent of everybody who remembers Star Trek Next Generation. It's like if Data was in charge of running Wall Street and all the big $1 trillion fucking hedge funds and shit. That's crazy, man. Far out. Far out, man.
We won't tell the cat, Rob.
The automated money laundering. And the funny part about it is, like, the whole fucking financial crisis of 2008 and shit, 2007 to 2009, all of that craziness, Aladdin straightened it all out so that all the hedge funds got paid and all the banks got propped up and everything kept going as usual, no matter what. Even if you lost your 401k savings of fucking $900,000 that you saved your entire life, Aladdin didn't give a fuck about your fucking money. And that's why things are the way they are. And that's why things keep running. That's why the house of cards didn't crumble. You know, that's why. That's what they do. They run the game. You know, those hedge funds are the ones that built the AI that could do the fucking hedge funds. You know, it's like, The technology eats itself. It just fucking did, man. They gave the keys to the fucking crypt.
So remember, who is the evil? Remember, it's probably not your neighbor.
Yeah. That's really kind of the fundamental thing is
it's probably not the person that you know like that you drives you crazy on the internet.
Yeah.
Or the person at your local Walmart where they're pushing their own agenda.
Everybody got an agenda, baby.
Everybody has an agenda.
That's how it goes.
And it's all about bringing in this fourth industrial revolution, transhumanism. It's about disconnecting us from the earth.
All the things that are good.
All the things that make us human.
Gotta get rid of those human ways because those are wasteful and, needless. Traditions, or whatever reminds.
Peace stuff, no. Peace stuff said, "Okay, call the maid. I'm done." I mean, they're making it to the point where they have created. They've already taken over. Like we're not in control.
Yeah, no, we ain't driving this bitch. I think if one man were to rule, Jason, I would vote for you and Gamer. So that way Gamer could be like, it could be equal. You guys could rule 50-50 like Jason, will cover all the difficult theological overtones of holding office. And Gamer would just be a reasonable cat. So that's no.
I mean, why would someone want to move to somewhere like Mars unless they want to, because they don't see the beauty and actually the planet that we live on?
Yep. They can't. People have moved past this planet. This one's wrecked. We wrecked it. Somebody peed in the pool.
No, it's not.
Everybody peed in the pool.
But we gotta stop. We gotta stop what we're doing.
Gross. It was mostly Applejack.
It was Apple.
Applejack peed in the pool.
No.
I'm serious.
Oh my God, Applejack! Why were you the one to do that?
Jenna dared him. That's why. Kate told them not to, but they didn't listen.
So, okay, to bring us into the guy that peed in the pool. So there is something that happens today. That is not it.
No, I was gonna say Applejack could be in charge of treasury and finance. That'd be fine. Little would be public relations. We could just start our own government with this chat room. Rob could definitely be a diplomat. I mean, come on, let's go. Peaches is our mascot. He's like chilling in his cage because he's like doing his multi thing and he's quiet and he's just
yeah,
which is kind of a nice change of pace actually, because normally
he'll have like a day or so of it and then he'll be back. Yeah, and he's got a heated perch too.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's freezing in the house, but in the kitchen where we are, it's colder. It's draftier in here.
There's climates in this house, in this little apartment.
There is in our little apartment. Okay, why is it? Oh. I'm trying to find the thing.
Do, 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 do.
Because I know you guys want to know about this.
Drew, there's music you have to fix, dude. Come on. You've been invited. It's been done. It's been done deal.
So, as you may have heard, Andrew Tate was arrested.
Andrew Tate was arrested. They said he abducted 2 girls. Him and his brother, who's slightly younger.
Okay, so Andrew
like a
Tate
bad
reportedly
sitcom.
arrested in Romania following a police raid. So Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan's home was raided in the Romanian authorities, specifically by the Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism on the morning of December 29th. Reports Romanian media and the 2 have reportedly been taken into custody. So they claimed that it was an abduction of 2 girls. I guess this is them there. Yep.
I'm just messing with you, Joe, for you're not feeling it, man.
As the news broke, a clip emerged showing Tate being led out of the villa in police custody. Tate was arrested on the suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and organized crime related to Cam Girls business. That's what the Toad writers. The investigation began at the start of 2021 into a human trafficking ring into the country. The ring allegedly misled victims into marriage before moving them to Romania and sexually exploiting them using physical violence and mental coercion. They have since executed 5 search warrants. On December 29th, 4 people were detained for 24 hours. No names were released. And here is like an actual video clip of him getting arrested.
Yeah, I watched that earlier. No credit with a size queen.
Hang on. Romanian newspaper has reported that Andrew's clash with climate activist Greta Thunberg played a key role in authorities confirming that both brothers were in the country at the same time. The current belief is that a pizza box from the local Romanian chain appearing in his response video to the young woman was enough of a giveaway for the mobilizing team to take action.
This has been absolutely disproven and debunked. That's
what,
not
the
true.
pizza box part?
The pizza box part.
Okay, well, you have to be specific that this whole thing,
They knew-
or you're talking about a pizza
They
box.
knew that he had booked flight from Mumbai like in 2 days or whatever, so they realized he was in the country. So it had nothing to do with the pizza box. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, the paper doing their investigating skills.
They're super observant.
So police turned up, they investigated, they realized nobody was in the house. Okay, so this was happened before. So back in April 2022, Tate faced alleged allegations of human trafficking in Romania, the country in which he resides. However, Tate stated that the issue arose from a swatting incident. I was not arrested. What happens is I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular in people who are large on the internet. Police turned up, they investigated and realized nobody was in the house against their will, and there was no crime committed. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for a piece of paper. We filled it out and we're let go.
Yes.
So that's like what is being said as of now. Well, as of earlier. So yeah, he got into it with Greta Thunberg. Or
Greta.
I don't know if it was actually her or, I also heard that it came from, what? Oh, you must have, you blocked Greta, Steve.
I probably did block Greta. She's annoying.
You did. That is so funny. You blocked Greta. Because I'm like, why is it like, what tweet? Oh, the other tweet is gone.
She's annoying. Just saying.
His tweet is gone.
Oh.
Oh wait, there it is. No, there it is. It's there.
Okay.
Okay, so Andrew Tate put up, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti, blah blah blah, and my Ferrari has blah blah blah." So he's like showing off his, 33 cars to Greta, as a some kind of own to her. And she allegedly wrote back, "Yeah, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com." And then he replied to her, like they got in a thing, and he said, "How dare you?" and blah blah blah. And so people are trying to say that, it was because of Greta that the whole thing happened. I mean, who knows, right? Can't make it up. I thought I was showing you guys that the whole time. Sorry.
Jenna Colby, I hope your feces heal up quickly and nicely and unpainfully.
So, yeah, sorry. I thought I was showing you guys that picture of him with his car. Like, so he's trolling her. She's trolling him back. That's what's happening.
Greta is sexualizing climate change. OnlyFans is next.
I think she's a freaking. I think Greta is a plant for climate change.
Spooky.
Yeah, something's not right. Something is not right about it. Like there's something that's off.
Yeah, she definitely, she comes across like operative kind of vibe,
Yeah, I guess somebody had said it before that her dad was the one that is managing her Twitter. And she's like 19 now, so everyone's like, and then there was people were saying that what were they saying? Like, like he was threatening to rape her and stuff like this. I don't know about all of that. What else happened? I didn't really get into all that. But
she's a Brussels sprout. That's what.
Yeah, I know. It's not that, and I wasn't like picking on her because of her autism. I know she's autistic, but I think she's being used. I think she, as a young lady, is being used. And that she's part of a bigger agenda that is happening. I don't think it's
again.
I'm not picking on her personality. I'm talking about, I think that she's being used as a child, and being used as a climate activist.
Pawn. Co-opted. Perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, like, where is she? Like, I would like to know where she's getting her information from, and and everything else. And I'm not saying that what she's saying is necessarily wrong, but I think she's being manipulated. I think she's being used.
I think a lot of what she's saying is fucking artificial.
I don't trust when it comes to like big influences and stuff like that. I don't trust,
Don't trust them.
No. As Whistle said, I'm 100% sure she's being used. I will not cancel her.
Yeah, no. There's no need to cancel anybody. Ever. Except for people who are willfully just like, doing the bidding of other people, and they know that it's fucking gross. And
no, I don't think that
that's not okay.
I don't think that she necessarily realizes it, but I think that they are someone is influencing her and using her to push something.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that no, I don't. No, I'm not saying to cancel her. That's not what I'm saying.
I want to cancel checks.
I think she's sincere in how she feels.
Sure.
I'm not saying that she's not sincere.
Yes.
I'm saying that somebody is behind the scenes, you know. Yeah, there's a plant. I think that, you know, somebody, I question everybody.
I think that's absolutely accurate. Vicky Adams, she said, gotta pee, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta go.
Somebody said it was Soros. Oh gosh.
Some like the Illuminati, some like
but no, I think that what she believes in and the things that she says are real, but I think otherwise she is being manipulated. And you know, I critically look at everything in a very critical way, where I can say, okay, I can trust this and this because of this, but I don't trust that's part of it because of that.
Why are you so damn critical? Is it wrong for me to chat to hate Greta Thunberg personally? I think it might be spent energy.
Yeah, and remember that, you know, you can just like feel indifferent about somebody,
yes,
but when you hate somebody, you're actually putting feeling towards them.
Yeah, there's no need to hate a child anyway, you know?
Yeah.
They can be little peckerheads. You can acknowledge that. Some children are little fucking
we can have a balance, right?
But
like we can have a balance where we're not like we're going to cancel somebody, but we can also say that they might be being manipulated. And you know, and I am for the children to not being manipulated. I want them to have a future, you know.
That's
she's the same age as Skyla. She's 19 now.
Yep. The CIA co-ops everything. Anything they can use.
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, if you look at the beginning of the, you know, like what we covered at the very beginning of the stream, you know, like we are all being manipulated by AI already.
That's fucking wild.
Happen. And how long has it been here and happening? Because it doesn't seem like the whole AI was as like prominent.
Yeah.
Back in 2008.
It didn't talk about it. They didn't talk about that. They certainly didn't fucking let the general public know.
No,
that was happening.
There was an AI program called Aladdin that was that you know, like it wasn't just Obama with the banks. Like it was literally the bank. I mean, his whole cabinet was chosen by Citibank.
Right. Not unlike Mr. Biden's.
Yeah.
Weird how that is. But yeah, don't worry about it. Aladdin's got it. I hope it's the voice of Robin Williams, Aladdin, because I like that one the best.
Oh my god!
Oh, you guys! I mean, come on. Jeez, if you had to choose,
that's Steve's birthday. Did you block Greta because she has the same birthday as you?
I think so. I don't know why. I don't remember blocking Greta Thunberg.
Oh my gosh, if you guys have the same birthday, you're never gonna live that down.
I'm gonna have to find somebody new to block every birthday that has the same birthday. God damn. That's a challenge.
Yes, Jason. Yeah, hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is.
I agree with that. Music is the best.
Jason said, literally, when I was a kid, I was taking Disney and I did a program called Aladdin where I tried the first VR. What?
Oh, that's where you got your programming. Oh, I mean, that must have been fun.
You know, I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland.
I've been to Disney World like 4 times. I've been to Epcot twice.
I went to Universal Studios, their Volcano Bay.
Too many times. Yeah,
once.
We went to Wet and Wild and SeaWorld. They were like right next to each other.
I have been to SeaWorld once, and I would never go back there.
The Florida Center.
Like
is
I
right
don't
next
have
door there.
any, and that was because someone else took me, like, and paid for it.
My grandfather worked for the mob and helped build Disney. Yeah, that's cool. My grandfather, when we went down to Florida the first time, showed
Wait,
me
rewind
all the-
that for a second. My grandfather worked for the mob and helped build Disney.
Yeah, that's,
Jason,
that's probably a common story for a lot of people.
what? That's not a common.
Anyway, my grandfather showed me slightly up the road from there in Orlando, more woods that looked exactly the same, part of the forest, where he could buy land right there for like under $1,000 an acre, like ridiculously cheap. And they wanted to sell him like fucking, I don't know, 100,000 acres. If he had bought it, he'd be like a billionaire because that's where they built the villages in Florida. That land right there, he showed me. Like, is that fucking crazy? He didn't buy the fucking land. I'm like, that was dumb. Why didn't you buy that shit? You know, you'd be fucking so rich. But he, you know, rest in peace there, Grandpa Ralph.
Do you see what Applejack said?
What did Applejack say? What did he say? I'm spreading the rumor that Lucky holds Stever at gunpoint to not act up on stream. She has him kidding. Well, don't do that because you know what? Inevitably, the feds will come kick in the door just as an excuse.
Yeah.
They're like, we have it right here in chat. Are you telling me these people are kidding? Thank you, Applejack. And Jason. That's really kind. Oh. One time we got dropped off in Orlando. It was harsh. On the 441. It's like the hood for like
Ricky
ever.
Rants. It's that Ricky Rants behind that March for Medicare for All.
Ricky. That's a cool guy. I like him.
What Jason
They
said, I
always
was
have
taken
funny
to a facility in Florida where they set up a mini city and they would take me directly from school Disney 6 years. What? Are you just fucking with us?
Wow. Right, Rob? Like, little, that is poetic. Makes me happy when Orca kills their trainers. Don't treat the animal the size of a truck like a bitch. Yes. Here, here. Let's see here.
Gore said, I hate fade reds. They're no fun. Yeah, like, no, I don't want to be rated.
Yeah, Fed raids are no fun. Even, you know, just regular old, plain old state police suck too. I can attest to that.
Jason, you should come on and tell us your story.
I've been under the boots of the fucking popo a couple of times, and it's no fun. And the federales.
It was very poetic, Rob. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so Jason said he's not fucking with me, and they didn't tell his parents.
That's handy.
What? Jason, you should come on and tell us the story.
Disney mini city. Yeah, it's no fun to be underneath those boots. They're just screaming at you. Get down on the floor. On the floor, you're standing on my chest. How much more on the floor can I be? Fucking douchebag. Gotta love him.
I want to know about this Disney mini city.
Yeah, you don't want to know. Once you can't unknow it, that's where they bring the dwarfs. That's where they make the dwarfs. That's where they make the talking dogs and ducks and mice and bears. All kinds of things. Stop resisting. Kick him in the face again. He'll stop. Yeah. It really does blow. Especially when it's about fucking weed. Oh my God. That's the most, like, goes up my ass the most. People, hippies getting beat up because they grew some weed in their closet. Oh, you fucking criminal.
Gamer said, I found out that moon rocks is a type of weed.
Yes, moon rocks is, we can break it down for you, is some nuggets and a bunch of keef and a bunch of other like extracty gluish substances that they dip them in, and then they roll them around in these, powdery keef until they're coated, and you have multiple layers of it. And then they sell it for like fucking ridiculous amount of money, but it gets you fucking ripped because there's so much like crazy keef and hash and honey oil and whatever the fuck. It's lovely. Can't go wrong. Although I did smoke some one time where it was like they put like fucking shitty weed in the center of it. It just tasted bad once you got to the center, but the outside tasted wonderful. So I don't know.
Odds Whistles said, I want to start a band called Two Hamsters and a Cat and get registered as a foreign agent.
Life goals, bro. Yeah, I don't think you can really smoke moon rocks daily and still, and be like not fucking special needs by a week or so.
Okay, so Jason said, I would love to tell people about it. There's a lot of crazy stuff I can tell you. I took over the city and I had control of everybody's money and was giving things out for free, and they stopped that day. Oh, shit. What? Dude. Oh, I had an itch. You should send me a DM and we should set up a time. If you really seriously want to come on and tell your story, like, I think that would be really cool. Really cool story.
Oh, lovely. The mushrooms are so fun.
What were you nervous about? Oh, Jenna. Yeah. Yeah. Jason said, I don't smoke moon rocks daily.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, Jason, I would love to have you come on and tell your story. That would be really cool. Not right now at this very moment, like, because we just did a 3-hour stream.
I would love to talk to you after you smoked a bunch of moon rocks too. So that'd be
that, yeah, you can smoke on air too. Like, I don't care.
That Matrix bar is good. I definitely endorse them. I think that's I give them A-OK on flavor and content, and a delightful time.
Yes. Yeah. And we're not like, we're not paid or like, they're not sponsoring us to say
that's my goal.
That's our organic opinion.
That's my goal for 2023 is to be the new Matrix Bar spokesperson. If at all possible. I hope I'm in the running.
You hope you're in the running?
Yeah, I'm going to try out for it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a thing or anything, but I'm going to put on my, Steve Corn best and see what we can do.
Awesome, Jason. Jason will do it. That would be so cool to hear about that. I love it.
Very, very weird and cool. I like
it. Gamer, did you watch our stuff on Christmas? The stream we did about how Santa is a shaman?
Yeah.
Oh, and anybody
that
was listening to the Christmas show that knows about the disco ball and the fridge, I got her to dance in front of the fridge with the disco light.
Now that was a mutually agreed upon dance, right? I mean, you don't have her like dancing for money or something.
No.
All right. I'm just
I
making
told
sure.
her that I told Val, I told everybody that on the stream because we were eating the mushroom chocolate.
You paid her off the meat butter, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Santa Claus is a mushroom. Nobody knew.
Wait, what's happening, Applejack?
What is happening? Did you guys hear about the military DNA records?
Oh.
In Taliban hands after it was left behind during the Afghanistan pullout?
No.
Oh my goodness. Are they going to replicate people from the army or something? What do you mean? I know they have that replication technology. They could just make a me or you, in about 20 minutes. Bang you out on the fucking 3D printer.
Well, they have to cook you in those incubators. They have the baby incubators.
They've gone past that. Now they just print you out on the 3D printer. They stick a battery on you. You warm up for 20 minutes and you're out the door. You could fool your mom. That's how they make the birds so effective. That's why the birds seem so real. They just make new ones every 15, 20 minutes. And was that a blue jay?
Oh my God.
I think it was a barn swallow. I don't know.
It's pretty cool, Gamer. I think that the stuff that we found about Santa was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Santa stuff. It makes you think oh, it's not as gross as I thought it was. That's nice. And whenever you can find out information that changes that aspect of something, it's nice. It's not some weird satanic, demonic fucking negative connotation thing. It doesn't have to be. What do you think?
All right.
Weird was Vicky Adams came back from saying BRB to the stream shut down on its own. Dun dun dun.
Oh, I wanted to remind everybody.
Did you come back from then?
When you're in a YouTube chat, make sure in the top upper right hand corner, you click those 3 little bars that are up there and you put live chat. Because YouTube censors and does this weird top chat thing. And even me knowing that, sometimes I forget it. And every time you go in or out of a room, Vicky reminded me of this, you have to click that every time. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why that's the setting.
They're freaky. And plus all our computers are infected with spooks because we always meet in the same places and we're easy to find. Snorky said they don't use batteries and birds. They use an adenosine tryphophate and it reacts with water to power the birds more natural like. Well, that's interesting. Chris H. I think it was biometric identification technology that they left in Afghanistan. Should we be worried about it? Because they may not have the resources to maintain what the military left behind. I think the chances are good that they might not.
They may, though. It could be the complete opposite.
Absolutely.
They left the technology to maintain that also.
They may have a Saudi lab they can fly that shit right to. It's probably on its way. Don't you worry. Somebody will take care of that.
Or sell it. You know what I mean? If someone wants that information.
Adenosine, you say. Is that how you pronounce it? So it was like, Steve, so you're saying Greta is a spook? Well, if the Casper costume fits.
We don't know.
We
don't know. We don't have any definitive proof.
I don't have any definitive
proof.
So
we try not to say anything without definitive proof. But
I'm just saying she just gives me that vibe. And
yeah.
Maybe I'm completely
it's the places where it's the circles that she's in. You know what I mean? What circles is she running? Who is she running with? Who is she around?
What chat buttons?
Okay. Let me pull up my YouTube. Okay. This is like
Boop, 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 boop. Sounds sourced enough for me.
I don't know how to make it so it's not so glary. Okay.
I like
See,
it. Sorry.
it's on that side. Over here, where it shows those 3 like lines. And you click on it, and it says either top chat or live chat.
Uh-huh.
You want to always go to live chat, because if you don't, you won't see all of the conversation. It's like YouTube has like a double way of filtering out things, right? So being, that we wrench everybody here.
Yeah, click it so you're on the live chat part.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
So because everybody has wrenches here, you get to see everything that everybody sees. No, that's not on an Android. This is on, I have an iPhone. I think it's the same on both phones.
It's the same. It looks the same as mine.
Yeah, Jenna, click it.
Yeah.
So they have like this 2-level like way of filtering out comments. So you always want to make sure that you're on live chat, because that means that you see all of the chat. Otherwise, they have top chat, which is like a filtered out, like, they don't show every comment.
It's like abridged.
I don't know how the algorithm decides what to show and what to not show, but yeah, that's on a phone, gamer. I think that I don't know how it is on the computer.
It's same thing on the computer.
Is it the same?
Yeah, you can change it on the computer. It has both. As I recall.
C said it's the same on the computer. Yes. So you want to make sure that you're always clicking on the live chat. If not, you're like getting a filtered amount. And then on top of it, YouTube, they censor the weirdest things. And what this made me think of it, because somebody was saying earlier in the Convo Couch that they were getting censored in the chat. And I was trying to figure it out, because I'm like, oh, I see all of it. I see the thing that they were thinking, and I'm like, oh, it might be because of the top chat and the live chat thing. Because if you don't click on that, then a lot of times you don't see all of the stuff. And then the way that they mod when you're modding and everything, sometimes like they'll hide comments and hold them for review, and so that you can't tell that they're not being shown there until somebody approves it. But if you're not on live chat, then you won't see all the comments. Yeah. Gamer said Google mods have deleted my messages in chat before. Yeah, YouTube does it, and then like I know like it can be like either way. It's absolutely, it's crazy. Yeah, Jenna, exactly. When Bruce, he tried to call attention to climate change and he was totally ignored. He set himself on fire and he died. And like some people's voices absolutely are propped up and some aren't. It Oh, you can't put each other in timeout?
No, if you have a moderator thing, I don't think you can.
Oh, so that's good. Nobody can put anybody in timeout. I probably could.
I timed out Angela one time though.
Did you do it? Wait.
And Drew's thing, I think.
Oh, you did it in Drew's though. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Little said YouTube has invisible mods that float around. I've been hit by them once. See, you can only block. You can't time out mods. Well, that makes sense. That's good. Jason Rodriguez said George Galloway's mods censor like crazy. I yelled on a post and he sent me his WhatsApp number. Oh. They work for Susan, okay? Applejack, they work for Susan.
You know, Sue.
Oh, Rob Juno said, thank you for being such a marvelous human being, Lucky. Oh, I love you, Rob. He said, thank you, everyone. Good night. Much love, Rob. So, what else do we have going on? We have a new year coming.
Yeah. Tomorrow, we have New Year's Eve party.
Wait, tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. Saturday. Saturday night.
So, we were like, what? Not Susan Sarandon, Susan who owns YouTube. Yeah, there. Gamers got my back. So we were like, what are we gonna do for New Year's? Or are we gonna stream or what are we gonna do? And we were like, oh yeah, it falls on open mic night. So we're gonna do open mic New Year's. Oh my God, Jetta, you're gonna make me want to get a tufting gun.
So I hope everybody gets wasted and comes in and sings.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a different type of New Year's than sure, Applejack. We're gonna do a different type of New Year's than normal, and we're gonna open up the stream, and people can come on if they want, and we can do a countdown and do it our own open mic way. How's that sound? So, Jenna Colby has discovered a tufting gun.
Tufting. Are you tufting kidding me?
And that's for making carpets. It's like the thing I showed you.
Making carpet.
On the mad artsy lady. Steve, can you get the cat?
Hey, cat. Get out of there.
She's stopping him. Everett, go get her. So it's like this gun machine thing that you make carpets with. I know, and I love the artsy mad woman.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to make carpets like that. Like I have a thing to make a huge latch hook carpet like thing, but I don't have all the little latch hook like rug pieces to do it.
Yeah.
A tufting gun. It's not a real gun. A tufting machine. Oh my god, they're saying Steve Cutler live. Don't give up on him. Save Steve Cutler.
This guy's got my back.
I want a button maker, Jenna. I want to make buttons. That's what I want. Button maker.
What if you had a tufting button maker?
Snork said, I thought that tufting gun was something from a Minnesota big gun manufacturer. No. Pretty cool.
Okay. All right, then. Good, yeah.
Jason said all hippies want to make buttons. Oh my god. Yes, we'll have tufted buttons.
Can you tuft me a leather vest for playing guitar? Little says, to save Steve Cutler, we must get him a black leather vest for playing guitar. Of course.
I have pleather. I have some fake, like, I don't know, it's a stuff of material I already have. Like,
What if I got my leather jacket and we made a vest out of it?
what do you mean?
I don't know. Is that a possibility? Is that a thing?
A leather jacket?
I have a leather jacket, yeah.
And you want me to make a vest out of the leather jacket?
Well, I'd rather have the leather jacket fixed because it's a nice jacket. But yeah, I don't know how else to get a leather jacket. Yeah, I guess you have to play guitar for really, really good for a while, and then the heavens open and one just falls in your lap. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. I don't know that that's how it works, but you know. I've been smoking the hopium.
Seb, you should find out if there is something that is an alternative to plastic, or like a way to like get like a hemp plastic or something like that. That's what I would look at, and I would talk to Snork.
Talk to Snort. A 3D printer is definitely a good investment, dude. I can't imagine if we had one of those. We'd need we'd have to get stuff for it all the time because we'd be making things. Like, let's make one of these. Let's make one of these. Let's make one of those. We would be making things. And that's what you're supposed to do with a 3D printer, I think.
Yeah, but I would want to have like a hemp plastic or, something.
Well, it'd be cool.
friendly.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could do it environmentally friendly. Certainly, using recycled stuff and low emission
What? Snork?
stuff. The best plastic is made in Germany from human breast milk. I thought spiders made the best plastic. I've been misinformed. I thought spider breast milk actually was. Is that right? Wait a minute. I might be mixing two stories up.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about this. Jason, hit me up on Twitter so we can talk about the underground Disney shit.
He said, we'll be at Save Steve Cutler. We'll be asking for 10 demands. We want you to reveal your connection to Animal Network and then at least stop with the birdaganda. Squawk.
Jilly said spider titties.
Spider titties. Exactly. Thank you. I didn't. Is it okay to say that? I wasn't sure. I thought.
Oh my gosh, Applejack! I
spider
don't
breast
know
milk.
if I would say that in too many places.
Snort comes with the link. Here's the best plastic made out of breast milk money can buy. It's German. I thought it was supposed to be like Some kind of weird
Oh my God, Snork came up with a website.
Brazilian.
You should grab that website.
I don't know how to do that exactly. Let's see. I can.
Well, for later, I just want you to grab it like on your.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just.
I can grab it probably on my phone.
Save it. Yeah, Q milk. It's the material of the future.
What the?
Yeah, our unique and innovative products, Q milk phasure. Come on, hold still. Q milk fiber innovation material combination takes Q milk fibers, are 100% natural, soft and smooth as silk, and skin friendly. They meet the requirement of innovative material development with a natural antibacterial effect and high hydrophilicity. They provide added value of the fiber products in the growth market. Q-Mill as the only natural fiber which has thermal bonding properties. Thus, other natural fibers can be combined without conventional plastics or phenolic resins. So, of course, lightweight constructions remain 100% and can be composted.
Okay, Applejack. So you have to start milking yourself.
Apparently, you're going to need some breast milk. The Q milk. It's not made from spiders, despite what you might have heard. I don't know where that information came from. It's an erroneous source. Well, thank you for that, Snork. We like to keep up to date on the booby plastics. Is that what you call them? Spider titties. Hi, kid and cat. Keep it organic. Just don't panic.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we're going to wrap things up for the night. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Snork. Oh. Well, Snork, I would love to have you on the show again soon, too.
Sweetly.
We just always have great conversation, no matter what we talk about.
Huh. I have no idea even where to begin with one of those fuckers. Well, if you're into making things, then absolutely, you could definitely
I don't think.
find the thing that needs to be made.
Okay, Applejack, go in a group chat. All right. I love you guys.
I want to make gums.
Oh gosh. Okay. That was not
Chow.
squirt guns.
Squirt gums.
All right.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. We love you.
Jason said squirting is not a myth.
Squirting is not a myth. Thank you for that, Jason. Very helpful.
We love you guys.
Learn that and more about the Disney City.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited. All right. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Peace.